Welcome to listeners around Australia to 3AW's Match of the Day through 6PR Perth, 5AA Adelaide, 3CS Colac, 3WM Horsham, 3TR Gippsland, 3SR Shepparton, 3BA Ballarat, 2AY Albury Wodonga, 8HA Alice Springs, Top FM Darwin, 5SE Mount Gambier, 5RM Berry and the Riverland. 3AW Football for Channel 7, Synovus Vitamins, Home Hardware and Crown Casino. Now here's Rex Hunt and Shane Healy.
Yes, thank you, Ted, and straight down to the boundary with Graham Bond.
Thanks, Rex. Well, as we noticed, there is the late change at North Melbourne. Unfortunately, Mick Martin is out with that stomach injury, and Mark Roberts comes in to take his place. So the big question will now be who will play on Tony Lockett. The Sydney side looks a fairly big side today here at the MCG. North Melbourne and Sydney both on the ground. Umpires today in the middle, Jeff Caulfield, Adrian Panozzo and Rowan Saws. The ground is in top condition after last night's game here. A little bit spongy around the flanks, but that centre area, which was showing a bit of wear and tear last night, has come up fairly well. No real wind advantage whilst the wind is gusting here. Shouldn't be favouring either end. Wayne Carey and Paul Kelly will be coming to toss the coin in about 30 seconds. Rex, back to you on behalf of...
Thank you very much. Sam Newman has joined us again after a cup of tea. North Melbourne plays Sydney. And Sam, any chance at all, now that Mick Martin's out of the side, for Sydney?
Absolutely no chance. If I've ever been more certain of predicting a winner here today, it'll be North Melbourne. North Melbourne fourth from the top, Sydney fourth from the bottom. And there would not be one possible reason, Tony Lockett included. We'll enjoy the game nevertheless, because we love coming and watching games like this. We like to see the Sydney side come down here and see if they can prevail down in the western southern states.
Bayes is having a sensational year. I mean, he might give Carey a bit of curry. He's having his best year ever. No chance at all. None. No, I did hear you say.
Testing.
I did hear you.
No possible
They've been
chance
Essendon 2 weeks ago.
Sydney will beat North Melbourne here today. And if they do, I'll think of something. What I will actually go out at half-time of next week's game and lie in the middle of the circle in a tutu in ballet shoes.
This is the man who said Brisbane couldn't beat Geelong down at Geelong last year.
And
I remember that vote.
Oh,
they did, actually.
Lost $1 million to Bill Jacobs.
Yes, that was a few years ago.
He's now in the Bahamas on that bet.
All the best, Bill. I thought you were going to say he's in Bali with Stephen. That would have been a couple.
Seems like him going fishing with me.
That'll be a busy time for Wendy.
Down the Swans.
So Adrian Panozzo is the umpire. He holds the air conveyance into the atmosphere and approaches the ring. And now comes in and goes... bang! The football rises in the air. Oh, good knock out there by the big bloke in Rose for Sydney. They're going to go forward now with Luff coming out. And picked up by Lewis of Sydney on the wing position. Goes to the left half forward flank for Sydney. Coming out will be Laidley. Can he get it before it went over the boundary line? No. And Sydney is slightly to the forward side of their attacking wing position on the Punt Road end of the stadium. The boundary umpire flings this football back into the stadium. And knocked out by Big Capuano. The hand pass came out and it went out to Kelly, but his kick is errant and it was intercepted over there by Blakey. He got a hand pass on to Anderson of North Melbourne down towards Carey. Carey's up and took a beautiful mark in front of Dunkley. Now Carey's too far out to score. He's got McKernan in the square. What a beautiful mark by McKernan. Right over the top of Luff. And McKernan has taken a one-grab finger sticker in the middle of the square at the main scoreboard end within the first minute and 10 seconds of play here at the MCG. So McKernan, Norwich rising star, loser last year, goes bang. There is the first goal on the 3AW Synovus Vitamin scoreboard. It is to North Melbourne. It is to McKernan. They are that goal. And Sydney have yet to score. Anthony Hudson at Waverley.
No score in this match as yet. Rex, no score. We've been playing 1.5 minutes.
The big bad man at Western Oval.
And the same here, not a score on the board at the moment.
The galloping gourmet at Optus Oval.
First goal to Adelaide at the 1 minute mark. They are one goal. Carlton, no score.
Sam Newman.
And Johnny Longmire playing at full-back on Tony Lockett. A couple of potentially good full forwards there on one another. And Rocker, Zav's brother, playing down there alongside Tony. Reynolds, Keenan on him.
And it looks like Dunkley rather than Bayes has got the job on Carey, which
yes, that's correct.
Bit of a turn up to me, Sam. I thought Bayes having a great year. Where have they lined him up? Looks like him down here at centre half forward with Craig Scholl next to him. There's the bounce. North's got the first goal. Rose got the tap down. It's taken by Gaspar. Kicks into the player in front of him. Shark by Armstrong. Good positive start from North. Long kick down to a Carey-Dunkley confrontation. Goes to the back and Mark Stevens pops it straight through the centre. North are 2 goals and they've got them in 2.5 minutes from 2 very good forays out of the centre. Sydney's yet to score, and that's the St Overs Vitamin scoreboard. Sam Newman on 3AW footy around Australia.
Well, of course, to stop the push through to the forward line, you've got to have some action out of the centre. And in the past, the Swans actually, this will sound a bit contradictory, there's Bays playing down on the half-forward flank there, so they've certainly got a fairly powerful forward line in Rocker, Lockett and Bays. But they've been pretty good out of the centre in past games, Sydney.
Knocked out by Capuano, went down to Kelly, picked up by Capuano. He copped it off the floor. It went out there to young Dyreen. Dyreen of the Swans inside, going up as Swass, punches it away from Bays. Coming in shoal for North Melbourne, played it on in front of himself. A tip there, a tip over here, and the football went over the boundary line.
And out of play. Quick score, Hutto, for Harry's Liquor Markets.
First goal kicked by Jason Taylor. The Hawks are 1 straight 6. Fremantle yet to score.
Stay with us, Hawk supporters. Lots of crosses, extended coverage out there to Waverley today. And at the throw-in, there's a free kick to North. Fancy it might be Stevens out there. Jumper out, as always, on that favourite left foot, southern stand side. Down to the city end, goes long for McKernan. Ruse tidies up at the back, almost carried it over the boundary line. But in the end, chipped one short to his captain. It was a good pass. He comes back into Ruse. They're on the centre line. Ruse hand passes to Lewis. He goes within 50, danger. The big man's there, Lockett. Didn't fall for him. Gaspar's come through. He's got it now, 30 from goal. Dispossessed. Kick it goes in. It might fall for Mooney on the edge of the square. And a bad fumble by Mooney. He kept it in. A chance for Gaspar. Now North concedes a point. If he picked it up cleanly, Mooney probably would have had time to throw it onto his boot and kick a goal. It's North 2 goals and Sydney down to the punt road end of point, and that's on the St Overs Vitamin scoreboard.
And Luff down there on McKernan, and of course, I suppose the idea of putting Bays on the half-forward line as opposed to putting him at centre-half back on Carey is that they think you've got to win games, and they'll take that chance up until half-time and see how they go.
Swass hand pass to Laidley. Laidley hand pass to Scott, who kicked it onto the centre wing. It's picked up over there by Luff of Sydney. Rose got a hand pass down, and here they come through McRae to centre half forward. Lockett is there. He can't get it, but here's Scholl, hand passing off to Longmire. Longmire runs to 50. Transvestites the square down towards Capuano, but beautiful mark at centre half back by the big bloke in Dunkley. Soared across the pack, hand passed it off to Luff. Down towards the wing position where Bays picks the football up. He now drives a long ball to centre half forward. He'll be looking for Lockett. But beautiful mark by North Melbourne's Keenan Reynolds, backing back on the pack, and Lockett. He hand passed it off to Swass. Swass kicks it out to the left half-back flank, where it's marked over there by, haven't got a clue. And the football went down, marked by Blakey. Was hand passed back to Scholl. The centre half forward comes North Melbourne. Punched away from Carey. It came down through the hands of Blakey. Blakey now will follow up and hand pass it off to Laidley. Laidley on the left boot goes forward for Rock. But nearly a good mark to Sydney. The hand pass came out from Kapler. He got it on further there towards Gray. Off the wing position, and there's a good mark down there on centre wing to Mooney.
And Mooney's got a good lead up on half-forward. This is promising for Sydney. Shannon Grant will go for Lockett. It's a horrible pass, but the big man takes it running at full speed. Hand passes back to Grant. He's near the boundary. He's 45 from goal, and the pass is very good. And Anthony Rock has chipped in over the top of Keenan Reynolds to take a mark. 30 metres from goal. And this kid is a very impressive player. I saw him have a big part to play in Sydney's win over Essendon. Quick score, Mel Brown out there at the Western Oval for Harry's before Rocker kicks.
Goal for Melbourne, and they're 6 points to Fitzroy 1 point.
Okay, so a goal to a point there. The Demons in front out at the Western Oval. Now Anthony Rocker, fairly tough angle, but he's a good kick. This one's gone off the side. Will barely score. Out of bounds on the full, I would fancy. And it's going to be North to bring it back into play. Gary Bryce for Harry's.
Well, it's a goal apiece. We're at the 7-minute mark. Carlton and Adelaide, 1 goal each.
So kicked out by Scholl from the left forward pocket for Sydney. It went out to the half-back line for North Melbourne. A hand pass by Rock went to Scott. Scott hand passed it back to McKernan. McKernan to Carey, who marks it at centre half forward in front of Dunkley. He span around. Here comes a lead down there from Stevens. Stevens of North Melbourne. This is Mark Stevens, has marked at 48 metres out on a 45-degree angle. On the right half-forward flank, he'll kick from the 50-metre line towards the main scoreboard end. Quick update from Gary Bryce again at Optus Oval, a pretty tight one.
Another goal to Pearce. So Clappe and Pearce goal kickers for Carlton. They have 2. Adelaide, McLeod is the goal kicker. They have 1.
So Pearce not off yet at Carlton. We'll let you know when he is as the football goes off. Stevens' boot. It's gone behind the stick. And the minor score goes on the 3AW Synovus Vitamin scoreboard. North Melbourne at 2-1-13. Sydney at 1 behind 1 point. Let's go Anthony Hudson and Peter Dacos for a moment.
2 goals to 1 in favour of the Hawks.
And the starting lineup for Hawthorn, Minton Connell started at centre forward, Jason Taylor at full forward. They've now switched over, but they've each kicked a goal to start off this game.
Thanks indeed, Dakes, and late change there with Crawford out of the side for the Hawks. Out at Waverley, extended coverage today. Kepler marks the kick out. He'll be looking down here for Gaspar or Kelly. Big Gaspar goes up. Carey comes over the top and spoils terrifically the North champion. And it's over for a throw-in in front of the Smokers stand.
Well, a nice piece of play. It happened a while ago, but a nice piece of play by Tony Lockett when he had his only opportunity to get a kick or a goal down there. He hand-passed the ball to Grant, who delivered it to Rocker, and Rocker astray, but it was a nice piece of play. The only time it's actually been down there in the 8 minutes we've been playing.
Rose hand passes off after getting a free kick at the throw-in to Darren Creswell, who kicks long. The ball breaks for Shannon Grant. He's a very good player, this kid, and his pass is good, and Bays is marked. Now, Bays should have a shot here. He's a beautiful kick of the footy, 50 metres out. If there's anyone in the competition you'd back to kick this, it'd be Bays, unless the breeze is fluking down there. Bondi, I can't believe that he's looking a bit tentative. He's kicked a goal, no worries, and why he was dancing around. Did you get the impression he was looking to pass it, Sam? I couldn't believe it, a player like Bays.
Well, that was a pretty ordinary kick, as a matter of fact. Just shows you how big a kick he is, because it didn't spin properly. It just went flat through the air, and I've just had the glasses on him. He's in magnificent physical condition, Bays. A very athletic build, and that was a beautiful kick. Nice left footer, got his head over the ball like Jurica last night.
If anything, Sam and Shane, I think the wind may be favouring the end, which Bays was kicking with then.
All back in the centre, knocked out by Rose of Sydney. Young Anthony Stevens got a kick, and it was marked by Blakey at centre half forward for North Melbourne. He runs around Rose and then kicks over the top of Kickett's head. Goes down long looking for McKernan. McKernan's up, the ball spills clear. There's a hand pass by Nichols, got it across to Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens has kicked another goal for North Melbourne. It's good play. Beautiful play by North Melbourne. I thought Trent Nichols was terrific in putting his body on the line and getting the hand pass out to Stevens, but then put the icing on the cake. And on the Synovus Vitamin scoreboard, North Melbourne at 3-1-19. Sydney at 1-1-7 as we go to Anthony Hudson and Peter Dacos at Waverley Park today.
Great start to the Hawks, 18-6.
And it's been just that. They're lining up for goal once more, and Hawthorn have been in control. Jarman doing quite well, and Lawrence in the ruck doing well.
And I was just going to say, Stevens there, given plenty of latitude by Gray. That's the second goal Stevens has kicked, so Gray early in this game needs to tighten up.
So it'll be Capuano against Rose, who got a beautiful down to kick it. His hand pass was too good for Gaspar, who couldn't handle it. In the end, North trying to clear. Kelly jumps over the top of Stevens, won the footy impressively, and now Gaspar gives it to Kickett. Danger, he races out of the square, puts it in front of Tony with a delightful pass. And although Grant's running down to the goal square hoping for a pass, I think Plugger, having seen Bays kick one from this distance a moment ago, will go back and look for his first of the day. He's got 952 career goals, and he's lining up 50 metres out, not much angle.
Well, of course, that's what makes Ablett and, well, I was going to say Modra, but not him, but and Ablett and this man great is that they lead beautifully, and if they have the personnel to kick the ball to them properly, they're in.
Well, he's kicked that right through the centre. Jason Dunstall said earlier in the day, if you wanted a man to win you a grand final after the bell, that is the man. And that was just a brilliant kick. So Sydney 2-1-13, North 3-1-19. Very entertaining opening here. 3AW footy around Australia. Synovus Vitamin scoreboard.
The big man is at Western Oval today. Can we have a score, please?
Gary Lyons kicked the second. Melbourne 2 goals, 12 points to Fitzroy 1 point.
The Galloping Gourmet, Gary Bryce at Optus Oval.
13-minute mark, a 1-point lead to Carlton, 2-1-13. Adelaide, 2 goals.
Graham Bond on 3AW.
Well, Battle of the Centre has gone North Melbourne's way, 3-1 so far. Let's see how it goes this time.
Umpire Panozzo puts it down. This time Capuano punches it down. He was looking further afield for Archer, couldn't get it. Coming through is Kapler. Kapler of Sydney goes long. Here's a go for Sydney. And a beautiful mark by Mooney. His been marked on the 50-metre line. Mooney now is a left footer and puts a long ball in. Plugger is down there, and so too in front there was Keenan Reynolds, who lately got one high, but Capuano got it across the Swass. But lately, I thought he got one high.
Rocker.
Rocker, was it?
Rocker hit him, yep.
Sorry, Rocker got to him. The hand pass went out to Anderson. He's the player I mucked up before. Smith got a hand pass to Swass, who was hit with a battering ram.
Shocking decision.
It was, I think, agreeing with you, Sam, surely you allowed to
What's
tackle
wrong with that, Shane?
I just felt he got him in the head, though, Sammy. It was a legal tackle, but I thought, as I look at it on the replay, I thought he connects him right in the head with the elbow. You don't agree?
Very good decision, that, Shane. I'll take that back. I'm
not being smart. I thought he got him in the head.
apologise to the umpire. He was hit right in the head, and I will take that back.
So a head-high tackle on Swass. Swass down towards the wing position, knocked away by Roos in those gloves. You want to give them the flick there for the old horses. The football came out again. Trent Nichols got a hand pass across. He was looking for Blakey. Stevens got the hand pass, I'm sorry. Looking for Blakey. I try and make it good for you, Bondi, but every now and again I just miss one or two, son. Like you says, Bondi, he's got the house on North Melbourne today, so Laurie, I hope you're listening.
Oh, God, Laurie, yes. Just sit down, take it easy, Laurie. As Creswell kicks one along the ground. Schwass is there, right on the boundary, is dispossessed by a desperate McRae. Sydney working hard. Along that half-forward line comes the footy. Can they pick it up now? McRae's done really well here to try and parry it across to Paul Kelly, but Schwass came in and did just as well, did the Schwassmeister. And it's over for a throw-in. Hutto, extended coverage at Waverley. What's your score there for Harries?
Well, Fremantle have kicked their second goal. They're 2 straight 12, but the Hawks still lead by 13 points. 4-1-25, 2 goals to Minton Connell.
So Dean McRae takes it on 50. Looks for Lockett. Out came Longmire. Lockett, in fact, had to thump it away from Longmire there. So Johnny Longmire playing in front. Good full-back work. And it's over for a throw-in 20 metres out from goal.
Anderson comes off for North Melbourne and is replaced by Allison. The ball out of play, right forward pocket, punt road in for Sydney. Going to that end of the stadium, knocked out by Mooney. It's close to the boundary line again. And the crowd want deliberate. The umpire says in your boot. As big bad Mel Brown comes in from Western Oval.
Well, Melbourne's still 11 points in front here. 2 goals, 1-13 to Fitzroy, 2 points.
Doing it beautifully, darling.
Thank you.
The football now on the floor. Here comes Rock. Hand passes to Laidley. Laidley's actually kicked the ball out on the full. I think he has. Is that
Yep.
Sam, take us through it, please.
Well, he went to play safe and kick it behind, but he was so accurate he kicked the point post and hit it with the ball, so they get a free shot at goal, the Swans now. We've snatched victory out of the defeat of Jaws.
Oh, what an effort from Anthony Rocker. A right foot banana just misses. By gosh, they went up. They went up behind the goal. It was a terrific effort. And
now, Sam's right. There are entertainers, the goal umpires. You would have bet a goal, and you put your house on that, Jane.
And Bondi, your house is okay at the moment. 5 points in front, North. 3-1 to 2-2. North Melbourne get it at the kick-out. Big McKernan drives down to the centre. I thought a shove might have been against North there. Umpire disagreed. Mark to Archer against Dale Lewis. 2 talented young players. There's a player on his own forward of centre here now. And a great chance for the Roos to work it into attack. It's going to be Brett Allison just on the ground. At half forward in the Carey McKernan direction. The pack rises. Who's down? North's down. Trent Nichols can't get hold of the footy. It wobbles out to North attacking 50. Clever little dink off the ground by Doreen in the favour of McRae, who looked a little bit slow. Gaspar went in. Got the hand pass across to Creswell, who kicked along the members' wing here. Coming out attacking the footy hard as Shannon Grant. I like the way this kid moves. Now Mooney takes it. Gets it to McRae. Nice hands. He got it further afield to Doreen. And a lovely pass out in front of Bays. And he's got it at the front of the square. Sydney driving forward to an open forward line.
He's got a lead down there from Lockett. He puts it out in front. The big man takes it and hand passes to Kickett, who goes bang. And behind the stick to such an extent it just snuck in for a minor score, Derek Kickett. He's got more padding than Far Lap on that left knee. North Melbourne at 3-1-19 and Sydney at 2-3-15. And that is on St Ives Vitamin scoreboard, as it's going to be Laidley who does just a little 30-metre kick and finds Anderson back on, Ellison off. On, off, both of those players in the last 4 minutes. And now he comes across the face of goal to the opposite pocket, where it's marked by Rock, who hand passed it over the top to Ross Smith with a 5-break haircut. He runs to 50 metres on the members' side and goes along the square towards wing position. Carey there, punched away by Dunkley. Came out Trent Nichols in the sunshine and kicked it towards 50. Here's a go for Roos. Behind him is the big bloke in Blakey. Couldn't get it, but picked up by Sydney, by Dyrene, and turns it out of trouble.
And he'll go long for Gaspar, who actually should have marked it, but tapped it down to the good of McRae. They're fiddling the Swans, but they'll get possession here on Members Wing. And Kepler, lovely pass out in front of Mooney, creating a bit of havoc for Ross Smith with his pace. He goes for Bays, having a wonderful year, Mark Bays. I reckon he'll finish in the top 7 or 8 in the Brownlow if he can finish off the year the way he has played it so far, maybe even higher. He's 70 from goal. Lovely pass to Big Tony, who's been interfered with. Umpire said no. It falls for Rocker, who's dribbled one through the points.
Well, Shane,
was Lockett unfairly interfered with there or not, Sammy?
I thought he was unfairly dealt with then. I am a great believer that you got to earn your kicks at full forward, but I thought he was actually slung very heavily out of the way of that ball then by Johnny Longbar, and you don't often see Plugger staging for kicks, but he threw him to the ground.
So here comes Swass off the half-back line. It comes down to Matty Armstrong. He can't pick it up. He's got the fumbles. Lending hand was Archer, but the hand pass by Armstrong went out towards McKernan. Goes in towards Carey. There's a free kick off the ball. It's going to go to Dunkley, and Dunkley's taken it at centre half back for Sydney Swans. The Sydney Swans at 2-4-16. North Melbourne at 3-1-19. Dunkley taking precious moments now. Can't make up his mind, and he goes to the outer side of the half-back flank. An awkward kicking style was shocking, meant for Kickett, but Twas dropped it. Picked up by Derek Kickett. He was taken high advantage, played to Ruse. Ruse in the gloves is outside there to the wing position. Comes in for the lead down there beautifully by Rocker, by Baby. Rocker has taken it for Sydney. He hand passed it off towards Kelly. Kelly now comes in towards Lockett. And Lockett has taken the mark after a beautiful pass by Grant. Beautiful pass there. And Lockett has got a chance to put his second on the board. Apropos what you were saying before about Lockett not staging for the kicks, he looked across at umpire Rowan Saws. Rowan Saws says, no, I thought you were boxing. And Plugger put his hand up and said, OK, Your Honour. It's a different man. Once you have an offspring, I tell you what, you are a different man. In every sense of the word, as Lockett now is on 50. He'll kick from 47 metres, 45-degree angle and go bang. And that is great. Beautiful goal to Lockett. He's a class act, the big man from Sydney. As Roberts comes onto the ground for North Melbourne, replacing Archer. The score on the St Overs Vitamin scoreboard is Sydney in front. 3-4-22 to North Melbourne 3-1-19.
And Allison's come on and off the ground. He's been on twice, and the game's only been going 19 minutes.
Dennis Pagan wouldn't be all that happy with this North opening. Hutto quickly a score, extended coverage at Waverley.
Hawks by 20 points in a pretty scrappy opening. 5-2-32 leading the Dockers. 2 straight 12.
Obviously not missing Crawford too much so far, Anthony.
Not so far, Shane, but they're getting plenty of drive out of the likes of Platten and Jarman in the middle.
Rose did well in ruck, but it was beautifully roved there by Armstrong, who drove down to centre half forward. Kepler won the footy, gave it to Lewis, who didn't look, but kicked, luckily for him, to a body of 3 Sydney players. Ruse marked it, hand passed it off, not to McRae, but gave it to last year's best and fairest in Creswell. His skills a little disappointing as Rocker had to try and bend down when he was on a good lead. He trapped it beautifully, kicked it very high. It's going to land at centre half forward. Rose has the ball thumped away, all Sydney. Chance now for Doreen to kick it in the Lockett direction. Longmire playing in front. Lockett's brought the ball to the ground from behind. It was a good effort, but North will have the numbers and Ross Smith will tidy up. Gives it to Blakey. Defensive 50, Southern stand side near the boundary, and he kicks long.
To the centre wing position, Lewis over the top, punches it from McKernan. Coming through there was young Lewis again. He pats his team player on the back and says, give it to me. Malcolm Brown for Harry's Liquor Markets at the Western Oval.
Reported here, that's been an exciting part of the game. Melbourne, 3 goals to 20. They're 17 points in front of Fitzroy, 3 points.
Who?
The hotel, Hilton.
Thank you very much. Don't use nicknames. As McKernan goes forward. Here comes Carey. He's got to beat a couple. One of them was a young boy in Cresswell. Carey puckers up again, but it's going to be Dunkley off the half-back line. Went one way and then the other. Brought it across his body. He was looking further afield for Kapler, who knocked it on. McKernan's got it adjacent to the handset sign. Hand passes to Swass. Swass gets it back to Laidley. Laidley in the streaming sunshine goes forward with a long kick. Here's Carey. He's got to beat them both. That is Dunkley and also Ruse. Dunkley got a hand pass out. He was looking for Gasper the Ghost. He couldn't take it. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. The Galloping Gourmet at Optus Oval, your score.
22-minute mark, and it's a 7-point lead to Carlton, who are kicking into the breeze. 3-2-20 Carlton, Adelaide 2-1-13.
North Melbourne deep into attack there, and McKernan knocked it out looking for Rock, couldn't get it, but here comes the boy there in Cresswell. Off the half-back flank for Sydney, into the centre of the ground, Derek Cricket. Hand passed it out to Shannon Grant. Shannon Grant hand passed it back to Kickett. Kickett's lined up a long ball down towards Rocker. Rocker is there. So too the young boy in Keenan Reynolds, who does well to concede the football over the boundary line and out of bounds. And Anthony Hudson, your score at Waverley Park.
Hawthorn 5-2-32, Fremantle 2 straight 12. The number 1 draft tourist Jeff White just carried off on a stretcher with a leg injury.
Time for a quick comment, Dakes.
Well, as mentioned earlier, Platten and Jarman in the centre have been terrific. Lawrence given them first use, but at ground level and their half-back line, Hawthorn are dominating.
Stevens outroves Kelly at the throw-in and drives around the southern stand wing. All Sydney here. Chance now for Big Rose to go for Lockett. Longmire did well to body him out of it. And Northcote players across to tidy up better than Sydney. And Smith's able to bring it away with a bad kick. And Gasper at 60 marks in front of Ellison. Looks for the pass into the forward line. And unmarked is Mooney, who should chip short to Rocker. He's 35 out. Rocker was on his own for a little while. Capuano comes across to man him up now. Well, all the trappings of a Sydney competitive effort here. Yeah. 3-4 to 3-1. We tipped it early that they might really cause some curry. And so far they are. Mooney should kick this. Let's have a look at it. Beautiful. I'm waiting. It's home. So, 4-4, 28 the Swans, 3-1-19 North Melbourne. Here's Sam Newman, compliments of Sanova's vitamins.
Well, you do get the feeling, just by watching the first 20 minutes, that they are really lively today, the Swans, and you can't see any trend except for the opening 5 minutes when North had 2 goals on the board to the Swans not having the ball down on their forward line at all. That they are really lively today, and there's no discernible trend that you think North Melbourne are actually going to climb on top of them.
Wonder what colour you're going to wear out there next week in the ring, Sam. As the football goes forward for Sydney again, there's a free kick. Sydney wanted it.
What is going on?
What's going on there.
What is going on?
I don't know what
the player threw his arms out. He didn't have the ball.
Anyhow, umpire Adrian Panocio has got the football in streaming sunshine at the men kick a goal, the MCG. Knocked out by Big Capuano. Swass over the top. He's no longer a sticker because the boy rang up and said don't call him that. So I'm saying that Swass
is a buckler.
Swass is a real goer. As umpire Adrian Panozio takes the football and bends his back and thumps it into the turf. It came out to Anthony Stevens. He was pulled off the football, went down to Ross Smith. A mongrel finger-breaking tumble punt that died on its trajectory was picked up over there by the young boy in Cresswell. He hand-passed it looking for Ruse. Blakey intercepted it. Blakey kicked it off the ground. So too Archer kicked it off the ground. Bondi, I'm sorry. It went to Carey and he's pinged him because in 50 metres he had the ball held onto his family jewels and he couldn't punch it.
He didn't have much chance to get rid of it, Sammy, did he?
He went to hand pass the ball and it was absolutely clasped onto his stomach and he was trying to punch the ball. Now that is tough. Well, that's not tough, it's wrong.
And he's really having a strong go here at umpire Adrian Panozzo. He's not enjoying a good 5 minutes. He's rattled. He missed a Sydney free kick 2 minutes ago where the bloke was held for 2 or 3 seconds. In the end, actually threw his arms out, a la what Kevin Bartlett used to do, and said, well, come on, look at this. I'm getting tackled without the footy. So Panozzo not having a good few minutes. The player with the footy now for Sydney is Grant. Goes long. There's a wonderful mark to North. Taken by the big man Capuano, has been a Norwich Rising Star nomination. Hand passes off to Longmire. Got all the trappings of a great game, this one. Long kick down toward the centre. All Sydney at ground level, as it's been all day. Kick it misses Kelly with his handball. Kelly goes in, wonderful courage, gives it to Rose. He's got a player on his own at 50. That's Mooney, who's been prolific in this quarter. Mooney on hands and knees, a rare fumble. Disappointing. In the end, Archer's able to tidy up for North. Gives it to Stevens along the members' wing in the Carey direction. Yes! We'll play that one to the King, and Wayne Carey has got the mark. Dunkley's been pretty good on him so far, Sammy.
And if Dermot Brereton was a bit stiff last week, they want to be very careful about how they get up, and Carey coming off the ground now, obviously for some instruction or some... no, he's been waved back on.
So, the refrigerator Mark Roberts, a late inclusion in the side for mighty Mick Markin, suffering from a purple face, a late withdrawal. And here's Mark Roberts lining it up at the main scoreboard end. And he's going to shoot in and shoot it in short to Rock, who's taken the mark. Well, I've seen dead people that look better than Mick Martin last week when he was all played up. So he's a late withdrawal with a purple face.
Thank you, Rex.
He looked like a dog chewing a wasp.
Swallowed a bottle of gentian violet, Shane. He had hives.
Well, Carey just gave Dunkley one there too. Nothing in it, just telling Dunkley to behave himself and basically nick off, and the umpire having a few words to Wayne. And is it Andrew Dunkley? It is, yes.
So the Rock of Gibraltar is Anthony Rock. The siren has sounded. He can put North Melbourne within 3 points if he puts this one through. Sydney at the moment will lead at quarter time. And there goes the ball, and they won't score. He won't score at all, so a very, very good quarter for Sydney. And they kicked 4-4-28. And North Melbourne kicked 3-1-19, and Dennis Pagan is charging to his charges.
Here we are back at the football. Welcome 5AA listeners in Adelaide, 6PR listeners in Perth, and regional stations around Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia for the second quarter of Northern Sydney. It's Sydney by 9 points, and early the trappings of an upset. Bondi will check some quick touch pokey stat stars from either side as the quarter commences.
Well, Doreen very good in the first quarter, 4 kicks. Grant had 4, Creswell had 7 possessions, and Derek Kickett had 7 for the Swans.
And we'll check some North in a moment. First possession, Ross Smith from half-back. Drives in the Carey direction. All Doreen did well to just snatch a little tap away. Ball hits the ground. Robert Scott goes in. Nice hand pass to Allison. They have set up a goal. Back to Scott. 40 out. He shoots and he misses. Down to the punt road end. 3-2-20 North. Sydney 4-4-28. And that's on the Home Hardware Pink Bat scoreboard. Let's take some touch pokey stats for North Melbourne, Bondi, before the kick out.
Well, McKernan had 5 kicks in the first quarter. Carey had 3 marks and 3 kicks, and Johnny Blakey 7 possessions for North Melbourne in that first quarter.
Okay, here comes the football back into play. And it's kicked out where Derek Kickett has taken a good mark. Derek Kickett goes to the wing position. Oh, it's a good mark over there by young Creswell. He's going to kick it inside 50, looking for Lockett, who came out in front of Longmire and took it. He's too far out. He's got love by Huff or by Puff. He was going to take the mark Luff at point-blank range, 30 metres out, and they could go further ahead, Sydney, in a big upset. So the boy from Nelson Bay, Lord Nelson, 111. The old Lord Nelson stood on the burning deck. Yes. And the deck was made of crackers.
Stop. Pocket full of crackers.
Oh, that's it. Okay. So here comes Luff. He'll huff and he'll puff. And will he luff this ball through? He does, with a beautiful post splitter right down the centre of the old canyon. And through it went post high. North 3-2-20, in a bit of trouble. Sydney at 5-4-34. But it's got that look about it, gentlemen.
My word, it does, and lovely play by Kickett then. He's, as Graham said on his stats, has done very well in the first quarter. He got that to Lockett. Lockett made a terrific lead, which is the absolute hallmark of his game. And very quick thinking by Lockett. He kicked it beautifully to position where Luff marked and kicked the Swans' 5th goal, and it does have the hallmark of an upset, I'll tell you that now.
Well, here's the bounce, and Rose is beaten in ruck by Big Capuano, who's doing nicely. Who's down? Creswell got first touch. The kick really just went into a wall of players. It's still in the centre circle area. Roberts affected a lovely hand pass to a linking Stevens. Roos put his body between Stevens and the footy. Affected a nice interception. Did the experienced Paul Roos. He'll kick now for Bays, who's got shoulder beat. Ball hits the ground. Who's there? Blakey's there. He gets away from Gaspar and kicks to half forward. Robert Scott beaten again by Doreen. Ball hits the ground. Through comes Kickett, left it behind. Schwass has got it 60 from goal. Hand passes forward where Mark Stevens can chase it. He'll get it ahead of Gaspar. Out near the boundary, 55 from goal. Gets out of Gaspar's tackle. Hand passes wildly, but it's all Sydney back there in the back pocket, and Derek Kickett. Oh, lovely skills. Races out of half-back. Shocking hand pass. Put his teammate Lewis under awful pressure. Scott takes crumbs. It's on North's 50. Roberts has got it. Kicks for full forward. Stevens almost over Dunkley. But again, Dale Lewis able to clear. Wobbles one out toward the boundary. Can Robert Scott keep it in? There's a sea of North players out there. Now they've got the show. Big long kick from Schwass. Luff's there. Carey's there. And it's over for a throw-in. Now for the North supporters, Sammy, a few words on what's wrong with the Roos so far.
Well, I just think they've probably come to the ground here thinking this will be just a matter of course, taking this game and taking the points, and they're playing accordingly. And the Swans, nothing to lose except, of course, the game, but they're really up and about, I'll tell you that.
Carey took it out of the pack from the throw-in, and Luff got his hand pass, or Carey's hand pass, under control, out of control. and then it went behind the stick for a rush point.
The big games we see North playing at night, particularly when they're up against the Collingwoods and the Essendons, they really fire into them in the opening bounce. They're just going through the motions at the minute.
Lewis has gone for Bays on the right half forward flank. Beautiful mark by Bays. He's got a lead down there from Lockett. Lockett is up, can't take it. Ross Smith did. He just plucked it out of the air, took a bounce and ran to 50 and goes to right half forward flank looking for Carey. Plants at the umpire. Allison punched it away. It came out to the Ghost. Gasper plays it on in front of himself. Beautiful tackle by Blakey. Hand pass back to Allison, under trouble from Gasper. It came back with a hand pass to Rock. Rock hand passed it out towards Anderson. Anderson now, it was Reynolds, sorry. Reynolds got a hand pass back into Ross Smith, the centre half forward to Carey. Used his body beautifully, and the ball stuck in the Carey hand direction. He's told him to lead. It's Mark Stevens who's got to lead out. He's coming out in front of Luff, who punched the ball away. Dean McRae, he's tackled, plants at the umpire. Coming out again, there was a young boy in Cresswell into the centre of the ground, but North are going to come out through Capuano.
Yes, he's got it members wing and drives with not a good kick to half forward. All Sydney, and there's a free kick against Troy Gray to young Mark Stevens. It was all Sydney. Gray shouldn't have done that. It was a silly bit of interference. 60 from goal. He's going to be made have a run over the mark here. So Hutto, you can give us a quick score for Harry's.
And Fremantle have continued to do well in this quarter, but haven't converted. 5-2-32 Hawthorn, 4-2-26 Fremantle.
Stevens' kick lands on the boundary line. Carey actually took it on the bounce. I thought maybe he had just kept it in there, the captain. But boundary umpire disagreed. Throw in. 15 metres from North's goal. Sydney in front by 13 points and playing well. Over the back came the big Sydney defenders to thump it away. Outside defensive 50. Laidley there ahead of McRae. And now it goes to Armstrong. Poor handball right along the boundary. Stayed in play. Laidley follows up 40 from goal. Chips it inboard. Kelly's courage was terrific. Left it for Troy Gray. He's under big pressure. Might have been holding the ball. 25 out from North goal. Ball up. For Harry's Liquor Markets, Mel Brown at the Western Oval.
There's an 18-point difference here. Melbourne 5 goals 3, 33 to Fitzroy, 2 goals 3, 15 with Sean Smith kicking 2 and Lyons 2 for Melbourne.
The Galloping Gourmet out at Optus Oval, thank you.
Prosciutto's kicked 2 goals in 2 minutes of the opening second quarter to give Adelaide a 12-point lead, 6-2-38 to Carlton, 4-2-26.
Lewis's hand pass was muffed by Roos with his left thigh bandaged heavily, and the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds.
And Capuano off the ground injured for Nichols, who's come on. So it'll be interesting to see who they play in the ruck. Probably Roberts.
Okay, throw the blanket over 20 players. Lewis is in there for Sydney. It came out there and was picked up by Nichols. No hand pass, but Rose got a hand pass to Kickett. Kickett got a hand pass to Kelly of Sydney. Kelly goes the length of the square. Here comes a rocker. Punched away down there by Longmire. It came out to Bays. He couldn't get it. Scholl did. Hand pass wildly picked up by Swass. Swass's hand pass is a beauty to Anderson. Anderson now goes across the square and gets it out to Stevens. Stevens runs away from Gasper. Stevens of North Melbourne hand passes across to Blakey. Blakey puts it high, makes it hard for Mark Stevens, who's there. He's got to beat 2. One of them's Luffy, can't beat him. He hand passed it out to Cresswell and Sydney away.
Yeah, defending well at the moment. That's a poor kick. But Doreen made it good. Hand pass to Dale Lewis, a defensive 50. He opens the game up with a good hand pass to Dean McRae, who links up now, and down the wing comes Rose. Rose has got a good lead from Plugger. 1, 2 bites. He was too good for Longmire there. It was a good even battle. Neither player really had to use any body. It was just the longer arms and the better judgment. I'm not sure if Plugger's arms are any longer, but he took a very nice 2-grab mark, 45 from goal.
A fraction stronger, perhaps, the arms, but lovely sweeping is the term. Sweeping hand pass by McRae, which allowed Rose to run onto the ball, the follower, and he kicked it with his left foot, I think, to Tony Lockett, who's taken a nice mark in front of Longmire.
Well, Plugger's got a couple, and this isn't impossible. It's 45 out, 45-degree angle. I don't like it off the boot. It's across the face for a point. So, 5-5, 35, Sydney. That's the Home Hardware Pink Bat scoreboard. North 3-3-21, 8 minutes into the second quarter.
Anthony Hudson and Peter Dacos at Waverley Park.
Goal to Jarman, Hawks by 12.
And Fremantle have had most of the play, have only scored 1 point since quarter time. And I think it's just their lack of height. Johnny Platten is absolutely dominating.
Thank you very much for that. Here's Anderson of North Melbourne. He's got a little kick out towards Ross Smith, who hand pass over the top to Blakey. Blakey runs it outside 50 and spears the Roberts man. Refrigerator took a mark, hand pass it back to Blakey. Blakey hand pass to Swass. Swass hand pass to Stevens, but intercepted over there by Cresswell. Cresswell hand pass to Kickett. Kickett hand pass to Kelly. To Lockett! Beautiful play. I was quick there, but I'm not quick enough. I think I got the lot there, Bondi, I did. And here we go again. Lockett has got a chance to avenge for that miss just 44 seconds ago, with Kelly spearing the big man in the chest. So Lockett will have to kick this from 48 metres, and he comes in now through 51, 50, 49, 48 and goes bang. And you can just about say that that is not going to reach the goal square. Anderson comes through for North Melbourne. Bursts it out of attack outside 50. Nearly a good mark by Swass. Mooney took it, hand pass to Gasper. Gasper back to Cresswell. Cresswell inboard, found Roos with a good mark, and Sydney playing well.
They are playing well, Rex. Roos is on the centre line. How many stats for Tats Bokies to Paul Roos, Graham?
That's his 7th possession for the game.
He gave it to Rose, who hand pass to Kapler. And he'll find Dale Lewis, who loves kicking a goal. The boy from North Ballarat runs to 50 near the boundary. And it's a ripper! That is a corker! And you people listening through 3BA, you might have seen that in his junior days. Wow, what a goal from Dale Lewis. Hey, they don't come a lot better than that. It's 41-21, 10-minute second quarter. Here's Sam Newman.
And they don't come along better than that, because a lot of people would have thought the Swans were fiddling around with that ball. They kicked it to Roos, and Roos kicked it back from whence it came. But what they did was they worked it into a position where it frustrated North, and they ended up actually giving it away. North thinking, well, we'll wait till they do something constructive with it, and they did, and Lewis kicked a goal.
This is a classic case of North Melbourne taking it easy. There is no doubt about that. No detriment to Sydney. Here come the Swans again. And it's the boy there in Kapler. Kicks it down, but it's gone over the boundary line and out of bounds, right adjacent to the Ansett Australia sign. The Galloping Gourmet out there at Optus Oval. Thank you.
Prosciutto's shooting for his third, just misses. So Adelaide doing very well this quarter. They lead by 7 points, 7-3-45. Carlton 6-2-38.
Kapler goes forward for the Sydney Swans, but Anderson of North Melbourne has taken the mark. So Anderson now goes out to the wing position. He's got a lead from the Refrigerator in Mark Roberts, 2 marks in front of Lewis. The Refrigerator now just forward of the centre wing position, going towards the punt road into the stadium. He's almost going to come across the ground, puts Blakey under pressure. Intercepted by the Ghost. Gasper runs to half forward. Lockett! This is magnificent by Sydney. There is an upset in the offing here, ladies and gentlemen. Sydney are right on top, and North Melbourne is flat as a Scheisenhausen Carter's hat. Anthony Hudson at Waverley.
Hawthorn by 13 points, 6-3-39 to Fremantle 4-2-26. Another behind of the Hawks, they lead by 14.
And the big bad man at Western Oval.
24 points difference. Melbourne 6-5-41 to Fitzroy 2-5-17.
And what I'm shouting about, I've backed North Melbourne. Lockett has kicked 2. Can he put another one? He has. And Sydney are busting this game apart. Sydney, 7-5-47, are streaking North Melbourne 3-3-21 on the home hardware Pink Bat scoreboard.
Could quite easily have had 6, Tony Lockett. He's missed a couple this quarter. I think he missed 1 in the first quarter, and he's kicked 3. And Johnny Longmire, well, I don't think that was a great attempt to spoil Lockett then. He didn't have that much of a break in him, and he must have foreseen that ball was going to be kicked to Lockett, because not a big break, but he had one, and he still couldn't get to him and punch it. Maybe he's got everyone bluffed, Tony.
Bit of work for Dennis Pagan here as Lewis roves the Rose tap down. Kicks in the Bays direction. He's taken a great mark. Mark Bays has taken a wonderful mark. He's got Kelly sprinting into the pocket, but gee whiz, you'd back Bays to kick this. I think you'd say he's the best kick in league footy, Bondi. Maybe you could come up with a better one. Not sure if there's too many. And look at the left foot. He's made the distance by a mile. Misses with the accuracy. 7-6-48 Sydney. 3-3-21 North Melbourne. The margin, 27 points in favour of the Sydney side. This is the Sydney side I saw a fortnight ago beat Essendon. I don't know what happened in between times against the Saints, but at the moment North would be a pretty worried bunch And you supporters sitting at home listening on 3AW Footy around Australia, your blue and white stripes have got a lot of work to do.
So Blakey off the half-back line, trying to lift his side, goes towards the big bloke. McKernan on wing position, can't take it. Mooney goes in. Very, very nice stuff. And umpire Adrian Panozzo says, give it to me. Anthony Hudson a score from Waverley Park today.
Hawks still by 14 points, 6-4-40. Fremantle 4-2-26. Hawthorn just a bit too desperate at the moment.
Umpire Panozzo puts the football down centre wing, thumped away by McKernan. It's gone straight to Luff. Luff of Sydney now transverses the square, or Vestites it, whatever you want today. And went up towards the boy there in whatever his name is, Grant. Grant got a hand pass across, and here comes Dyreen for another one. North Melbourne look gone. North Melbourne look gone at this stage of the game. It's crazy to say that, but Sydney are just absolutely killing North Melbourne in every sense of the word. And on the home hardware pink bat scoreboard, Sydney are 8-6-54, North Melbourne are 3-3-21. They are Scheisenhausen, North Melbourne, Anthony Hudson and Peter Dacos.
Still 14-point lead to Hawthorn.
And Spider Burton back on the ground, but they're just going far too short, and I think the key has been Hawthorn's manning up. They just haven't let Fremantle break away.
Extended coverage from Waverley with Dakes and Hutto today. North, first touch out of the centre. Stevens got it to Armstrong at 50. Kick a goal, Matty. They desperately need one. Schloss almost back there. Tried to take a desperate diving mark in the pocket. North at least able to get it into its own 50 for the first time in about 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to throw in next to the behind post. Who's destroying the ruse on paper, Bondi, for Tats Pokies?
Well, Plugger this quarter, 4 marks, 4 kicks. Dale Lewis has had 6 touches this quarter, and Darren Cresswell's had 5.
And you've got time for a few North stats, maybe
very quiet. Johnny Blakey only 4, but yes, Carey only 1 kick, 1 mark this quarter. John Longwell yet to have a kick. Anthony Rock, no kicks. Keenan Reynolds, no kicks. Wayne Schwass, only 1 for the quarter.
Well, I've got a lift here, North. Can they get a goal? Throw in 30 metres from their goal. Armstrong tackled brutally by a desperate Sydney team. The Swans 8-6-54. North Melbourne 3-3-21. If you've joined us late, Mick Martin was replaced by big Frigidaire in the side, and that's the only change at the bounce. Big thump away, Gray toward the boundary. Ruse beaten in the race for the ball by Laidley, who carries the ball over the boundary line. How are you seeing it, Sam Newman?
Well, I agree with Rex. I reckon North are gone. And I don't think it's doing their cause much good with McKernan playing right in the path of Carey there. He's done that a couple of times, but maybe they know what they're doing. I don't.
Blakey, fresh air shot on the half-forward line. And it's scrambly stuff, and Sydney are in absolute control. As we go to Optus Oval, the check on the score from the Galloping Gourmet.
Well, game's been held up here while young Brad Pearce has stretched it off the ground after a heavy collision. Looks like a possible broken nose, but at the moment a 7-point lead to Adelaide. We're halfway through the second quarter. Adelaide 7-3-45, Carlton 6-2-38.
Lately dispossessed, and then a stacks on the mill, British Bulldog style. And yes, Sammy Newman.
Well, now you can say it, Rex, over at Optus Oval.
He's off. So there you are, umpire Adrian Panozzo. He doesn't look like a Panozzo, but that's his name. The football now in the air, knocked out by McKernan. Came down towards Laidley. He can't take it. Oh, Gasper the Ghost got a good tackle from McKernan, but it's really tough and rugged there at the moment as the big man Mel Brown comes ringing through the airwaves on 3AW.
And there's 24 points of difference. Melbourne 7 goals, 5-47 to Fitzroy, 3 goals, 5-23. Young Johnson's kicked 2, and Lyons lining up for his 3rd.
And any breeze advantage there, Mel?
Not really. It's a beautiful day here. Not a bad crowd, and it's a lovely day, except we can't get a cup of coffee.
Oh, well, you'll get one of those at half-time. Melbourne just looking a bit too strong at the moment by the sounds.
Neitz has been sensational at centre-half forward. He's just controlling it, and he's worked in very well with Lyons.
OK, a free kick here to North Melbourne. Robert Scott after Derek Kickett put it out on the full. Drives down beyond attacking 50, taken by Doreen. Nice hand pass to Creswell, another hand pass to Love, another hand pass to Ruse. He'll try and wobble one out of bounds. It's rolling and rolling. I think Stuart Anderson will get there in time. He does. Keeps it in play. 60 from goal. Might kick a goal. Got around Ruse, hand pass it inside to Roberts and back to Anderson. Here comes Gray, but Anderson's got it. 20 out. Kick a goal, young fellow. Luff's tackle and smother in the goal square. Had to be seen to be believed. He's now cleared it, and McRae, a disappointing effort. Might have taken the mark at a defensive 50. Left it go, and Laidley...
He nearly had to whistle up, didn't he? Sam was going to walk out. Oh. He was on his way.
Well, there was a chance of a 50 against McRae, who put Laidley down. Laidley, no 50. Long kick to the goal square. McKernan flew, so did Carey. Can North snag one out of the pack here? I think there'll be a ball up on the edge of the goal square. We're 18 minutes second quarter at the MCG. And I've I've got a feeling he's taking it off North here.
Giving it a luff.
Yep, luff.
He gave it a luff, and here comes Sydney. They've taken the mark over there, and the hand pass came out from Cresswell. Cresswell now is going to take a third bounce and kick it to the wing position, looking down there for Bayes. Bayes is up, but it came out to Gasper. Gasper, the ghost, got it across towards the young boy in Grant. Grant got a hand pass out. It went out to Mooney. Mooney got it on further, and here come the Sydney Swans are in trouble, but here it is Archer. Archer got a hand pass across to Laidley. Laidley got it on further to Barnett of North Melbourne. Barnett goes to the right half forward flank and finds Anderson. Anderson of North Melbourne told to play on. Play on, said the people of North Melbourne who want a bit of a go for their money. Carey is marked at centre half forward. This is the man who has to grab hold of the situation for North and get a couple of goals before half-time, because at the moment they're staring down the slippery slide that ends up in the pit down the bottom, and you all know what's in the bottom of the pit. So here it is. That's grit. So here is Carey has lined it up from 60 metres and gone bang for a poster. A Wilbur post to Carey. And North Melbourne are 3 goals, 4-22. They're well behind Sydney by 32 points, who are 8-6-54.
Well, it's a pretty interesting setup they've got. They've got McKernan, this is North, Carey and Roberts, 3 big men on the forward line. Schwass playing at full forward, and I reckon they're crowding Carey because he's double-teamed every time. I think they should try and play on his merits.
Well, Sydney working to Ruse at the kick out, and he finds McRae. And along the member side he comes looking for Kelly. 1-2 bites. Not paid and good umpiring. Schwass was the spoiler. Rose took it, gave it to McRae. He couldn't accept it cleanly, and it's over for a throw-in. I'm interested to get out to Barrel out there at Optus Oval. Compliments of Harry's. Adelaide putting up a hell of a fight out there, Gary.
They're playing extremely well, Shane, and just before you crossed, they were 11 points up, but Clappo just kicked his 4th goal off the ground, and now it's a 5-point margin. Adelaide 8-3-51, Carlton 7-4-46.
Rose, a lovely tap down to Lewis. He gave it to Ruse, who looked down there for Rocker, spilt what he should have taken. Reynolds got away for a moment, has kicked across the face. Danger for Blakey. He's got 2 to beat, Mooney and Gaspar, and he beat them both. Well done, Johnny Blakey. You saved a goal. Hand pass to Barnett, who gave it to Rossi Smith, a defensive 50. He goes wide to a good leading Mark Stevens. Ball doesn't reach its target. 1-on-1, great battle out there. Gray held Stevens, surely, and a free kick to Mark Stevens out there on the wing. He's giving them a little bit of movement down there, the boy from Hayfield in Gippsland, and they've got to get goals quickly, the Ruse.
All the best to Hayfield listeners down at 3TR on the banks of Lake Glen. Maggie Luff got up, he couldn't get it again. His hand pass was intercepted. Lewis came on the ball, but hand passed it out. Anderson's hand pass found Allison. Allison hand pass to Matthew Armstrong. Matthew Armstrong went down towards Schwass! And Schwass used his body beautifully. Look, Mum, no hands, went bang. And the ball stuck in his phalanges. And if ever North Melbourne needed a goal, this was it at 22 minutes in the second term. They're looking down the slide. They need a couple before half-time. And Schwass goes bang. And there's one of them. That will be the first one for the quarter. And here's Graham Bond on 3AW.
Yes, Rex, first goal for the quarter for North Melbourne, kicked by Wayne Schwass. He's had a good quarter with 5 possessions. Ross Smith's given them a little lift in that half-back line this quarter with 5 kicks, but Dale Lewis has been sensational. He's had 8 touches this quarter. Troy Luff in defence has had 6 for the Sydney Swans and 4 Roos. 5 kicks already on the Tats Pokey stat sheet in the second quarter.
On the home hardware pink bat scoreboard, North Melbourne are 4-4-28 and Sydney are 8-6-54. Anthony Hudson a score from Waverley.
Well, the Hawks out to a 20-point lead again, 2 goals to Hargraves and Platten, but the Dockers really wasting opportunities. 8-4-52 to 5-2-32.
McKernan got it down to Barnett. He was dispossessed by Rose, having a great game. Rose to Ruse was good play. He should go on to Mooney with a lovely handball. 40 out, Mooney sizes them. Decides to bring it out in front of the goal. Rocker has jumped over the back and taken a beautiful grab over Keenan Reynolds. He always had the height advantage. And 30 metres out in the sunshine in front of around about 25, maybe 27 or 28,000 here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Anthony Rocker will be shooting for his first goal of the afternoon. How's he done on the stat sheet there, Bondi, for Tats Pokies?
Well, it's only his first kick in this quarter, Shane. He had 4 kicks in the first quarter. Both shots at goal offline. He scored 2 behinds.
No excuses to miss this one, though. I think it's okay. It's a goal to Rocker. his first of the day, and North 9.660. A good answer to the Schwass goal at the other end.
Swans are 9.660.
Sorry, Swans 9.660. North 4.428. It's a 32-point lead, and that's on the Home Hardware Pink Bat scoreboard.
And what Rocker did beautifully then was Reynolds was about to jump for the ball, but as he did, Rocker just beat him to it, and he jumped, and when Reynolds jumped, he lifted him higher onto the ball. That's what they do in the ruck. That's the technique. You try and jump early to get someone to lift you on the ball. That's exactly what happened to Rocker.
He's 17, that kid. Not bad, eh? Here comes Sydney again. Lewis pinged it inside 50. Beautiful mark, Scholl over the top of Bays to repel that attack. North Melbourne need goals and need them quickly and desperately. Now Scholl goes down to the wing position looking for Allison. Can't take the mark, was Kapler. Kapler must be given a free kick. No, said the umpire. I'm going to ball it up. The Galloping Gourmet today is out at Scone Park.
Not yet, but it will be at half-time. 22-minute mark, and it's a 5-point lead to Adelaide, who are 8-4-52. Carlton in trouble, 7-5-47.
Kernan got the knockout, and Blakey got a little kick. It was a free, but went to centre half forward. And umpire Adrian Panosso will cross himself in Monsignor fashion and put the football down. Big bad man at Western Oval.
The score's Melbourne, 8 goals, 6-54. They're 31 ahead of Fitzroy, and David Neitz has just kicked another goal as we're speaking to make them 37 points in front.
Rose got the knockout from Scott. That was of Sydney. Rose's hand pass intercepted by Anderson, who tapped it across to Allison. Allison brought it across his boot for Swass to go up. Kicked off the ground by McKernan. Lewis's hand pass found Rose of Sydney. Rose hand pass down towards Roos. Roos picked it up for Sydney and kicked it in towards the centre of the ground. Here comes McRae. Couldn't get it. Neither could Stevens. They look slow. They look lethargic. They look just disinterested, North Melbourne. And they're in trouble because Sydney are pumped up with something. Order me a kilo. Anthony Hudson, your score.
Well, Hawthorn still lead by 20 points, 9-4-58 to 6-2-38. McManus lining up, and the Dockers won't give up here.
Well, it's about to wobble, I think, back over the boundary line, Hutto, so you can probably have a look at that kick from McManus.
Well, he's lining up, as I said, just about 10 metres out from goal, almost directly in front. He just pokes it through. So the Dockers' 7th goal, and that is, in fact, McManus' 3rd. He's been a good player there. 7-2-44. Hawthorn 9-4-58. Hargraves has kicked 3 for the Hawks.
Gee, Rose is doing well in ruck, Sammy. You got that tap down again there. What are his stats, Bondi, just before a comment from Sam Newman about Gavin Rose?
Well, only 1 mark, Shane, but this quarter he's had 6 hand passes, 2 kicks and 4 hit-outs, so he's been doing very well around the ground as well.
He's doing very well, and of course Capuano off with an injury makes McKernan go onto the ball, but he's not a bad ruckman, McKernan, but he's certainly lowered his colours to Rose so far.
Kelly and Lewis combined terrifically there to give it on to Doreen. Down to Lockett. No, ball thumped away by Longmire. Rove by Grant. He snaps and misses. Oh, he's a real rover, Grant. He's a true rover. And it's 9-7-61 Sydney, 4-4-28 North. 26 minutes second quarter. Home Hardware Pink Bat scoreboard.
Well, Dennis Pagan really ringing the changes off the bench, using the 3-man interchange bench to full utilisation, because he's trying to find the best combination who will give a bit of run to this side, because, as you said, they're very lethargic.
Scott hand pass to Stevens. Stevens hand pass to Longmire. Longmire kicked it to half forward. Allison hand pass to Swass. Swass now of North Melbourne. A high giraffe kicked inside 50. Carey and Roberts. Carey's there. So too is Gaspar. Is the boy there in Kapler. Kapler hand passed it out to Gaspar. Gaspar hand passed it back to Dunkley. Dunkley kicked it down onto the wing position to Lewis of the Sydney Swans. Watch out, here comes Blakey. Lewis's hand pass was a beauty to Roos. And Roos speared Mooney in the face down there. And there's the half-time siren. And North Melbourne have been shell-shocked. Sydney have been magnificent in their execution of the football skills. North Melbourne have got plenty to do. Sydney must maintain the status quo as Ron wobbles off to the rooms. And North Melbourne 4-4-28, Sydney at 9-7-61.
Australia a lesson in how to run a country. I'm Neil Mitchell. In the week ahead, we'll look at the Kiwi miracle and how we can get into the act. Now back to the football.
umpire Jeff Caulfield, ready to start the third quarter. The Channel 7 tonight third quarter of a game that really is in dangerous position for North Melbourne. They've got to get the first couple in this third quarter and try and edge their way back into the game the same way Collingwood did the day we saw them beat Sydney up at Victoria Park when they came from a long way down. Laidley got first possession out of the centre. Carey looks like he might be at full forward, chasing the footy with Dunkley in the forward pocket, right near the boundary. Chance for Nichols. He's dispossessed by a desperate bit of work there by Kapler, and it's over for a throw in the forward pocket under the scoreboard.
Yeah, looks like Carey's at full forward with Dunkley down on him. Dunkley did a great job on Carey. Schwass had to go at full forward earlier in the game.
Carey got rid of his opponent in ruck and has actually been paid a free kick right in front of goal. Well, that would be heartbreaking for Ron Barassi, and it appeared to me that actually Dunkley was the player interfered with, but Sam, I was calling it without the binoculars there. Rather, I was just having a look with the naked eye. We may not get a replay. Did you see any interference?
No, I didn't, but here's the replay now, and oh dear. Now what is that for?
Tackled around the leg.
Oh,
who?
Turn it up on
Carey. By Dunkley while he was on the ground.
Oh,
that's what the decision was given for.
Standing on him.
Gee whiz. Well, okay. 20 metres out. He's got to kick this in the context of this game, Big Wayne. And I think the North supporters on the southern stand side are happy with that. So Wayne Carey breaks his duck for the day with, look, I'd have to say North supporters, I mean, you'll be happy to take it, but a terribly lucky free kick. 5-4-34 the Roos, 9-7-61 Sydney, and maybe, Sam, that can get them lit up because they need to do something, North Melbourne.
A very, very technical kick. I reckon he was standing on him and the bloke was just holding him so he actually didn't stand on him anymore. He had no intention of moving off him, Carey. He hand passed the ball away and he was pinged for being legged.
Knocked out by Rose of Sydney, but here come North Melbourne up the half-back line. Ross Smith picks it up. He goes via the cape into the centre. He'll be looking out there for Scott McKernan. Took it a fresh air shot by kick and hand pass by McRae. Found Mooney. Mooney's hand pass intercepted by Rose. Beautiful hand pass across by Creswell. Got it on to Kelly, who kicked a magnificent looking goal for Sydney. Beautiful goal for Kelly. After some great play in the centre, they turned that one over and they got it back, Sydney, and have got back that goal they gave away a few moments ago to Carey. Sydney at 10-7-67 North of 5-4-34. It's an absolute beauty here for Sydney today.
Well, you'd rather your goals be scored like the way Sydney did then than the way Carey just got his. And that Rose in the centre after he rose to hit the ball out. He followed on, tapped it on, and got it eventually down to Kelly, who kicked a terrific goal on the run in his left foot.
Here come North Melbourne trying to lift. Scott's got it to the right half forward flank looking for Mark Stevens. Tapped away, and here come Gasper. He's out in front, but he can't get it going. The football went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Earl Gray, I should say it was, not Gasper. And the football is in front of the members' stand, and it's over the boundary line.
And out of bounds, 33-point lead Sydney enjoys here. 3 minutes, third quarter. This and the Optus Oval game look like the two potential upsets. Back to Gary Bryce for Harries in a moment. At the throw-in, there's a little kick off the ground accidentally by Roos. And Barrel, your game won't have started there, but it's 11-4-70 Adelaide. 8-7-55 Carlton at half-time back there shortly. Blakey took the free kick. It's going to be a big jump from Stevens. Couldn't take the mark. Who's down? It's 40 metres out from North's goal. Gaspar fumbles a lot. Fumbled again there. Nichols round the corner. It may be a goal. No, Roos has marked it on the line. What do you think of Carey to fall forward, Sam? Do you think there's sense in that move?
Well, I don't think it's a bad idea unless they take the gamble and bring Longmire down there and put someone else on Lockett, because he had everyone jumping with him, and if he's meant to be the main focal man, we'll let him do it. But they're double teaming him. They've got McRae dropping back along with Dunkley on him now, so he's going to find it tough. Maybe it'd be worth trying to bring Longmire down there and see if he can kick a couple of goals.
And who would you play on Lockett?
Yes, I'll get back to you.
Here's the throw-in, 50 metres out from North's goal. Stevens has got it close to the boundary, wobbles one to the goal square, bounces over McRae. Carey's got it. Hand pass was clever. Rocks kicked it very high, but offline. 1 point to North, 5-5-35 the Roos. Sydney 10-7-67. They should have started at the Western Oval. That was the first game finished in the second quarter. So Mel Brown for Harry's, your score.
32 points to Melbourne, 9 goals 761 to Fitzroy, 4 goals 529, and that was Cowell reported before Rex, not sure Hilton.
Thank you very much. Dyrene Got it out towards the boy in Gaspar. He got it to kick it in the centre of the ground, who hand passed it on to Lewis. And Lewis went bang with a long out of bounds on the full. It went 65 metres. They went bang, bang, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. They've touched it twice. Anthony Hudson at Waverley Park.
No change since half-time. We've played 2.5 minutes. The Hawks are 10-4-64. Fremantle 7-3-45.
Well, North supporters, your side at the moment, not giving me the impression you're going to turn this around, as Laidley finds Archer a defensive 50. He has 2 bounces, well chased by Mooney, who's played well. Kicks long for Blakey. Roos will have the edge in size here. Blakey brought Roos down. A little bit soft, but Paul Roos will take the free. How's the former Fitzroy star stats, Bondi, for Tats Pokies?
Well, he's coming in for his 3rd kick this quarter. That'll make it his 12th kick for the game. 3 hand passes and 5 marks.
Finds Gray, who runs down the centre, has to get rid of it, tackle, but Bounty's captain Paul Kelly with actually a pretty fine hand pass. His pass is delightful, Gerard Healy. I hope you're listening. His foot skills were fine there. The man who you feel delivers poorly. And now Shannon Grant finds Creswell, 55 from goal. Creswell to Lockett or Longmire. On the edge of the square, Longmire's a little bit quicker across the ground. The ball fell in front of both players. Just a quick comment from you, Sam, on Paul Kelly. You've seen a good bit of him over the last 3 or 4 years. Gerard Healy pretty critical of his disposal.
Well, he's a great player, Kelly. Gets the ball. His disposal might leave a little to be desired, but he gets the thing prolifically.
Rocker versus Keenan Reynolds. North Melbourne under siege at the moment. Scott got a hand pass, but he was taken above the shoulder with an errant tackle by Derek Kickett. And Scott of North Melbourne got it out to Anthony Stevens on the right half-back flank in the shadow of the stand. He kicked it inboard to the refrigerator Roberts, who took a mark, took 1 step and went bang with a long, beautiful kick looking for Laidley. Intercepted by Luff. It went to McRae, who hand passed it on to Lewis. Lewis's kick was not a good one. Roberts' hand pass intercepted by Dyrene. It came up and kicked off the ground by Mooney. The hand pass by Bays to Lewis, and it's a behind. The umpire said it was okay. No, the umpire's given all clear. Umpire Rowan Saws has run from the centre of the ground to give a free kick. Oh, that's disgraceful. Oh, no.
Well, he was put down after he kicked it, though, wasn't he?
But the bloke was closer than what the other umpire was.
But I'm just saying, the fact of the matter was he put down or not after he kicked it? Sam,
listen, Shane, we've got 1 umpire handling the play, and Lewis went to kick a goal. He was taken down in the course of kicking the goal, and the umpire gave all clear. Now, how many times are we going to have more than 1 umpire trying to give their opinion on what's going on?
Yeah, bad case of over-umpiring. I can't agree with that. I can't disagree with that. Lewis misses his 2nd go at it. I just wonder, when we look back at the end of the day, if those Lewis misses, if North can fight back, might be a turning point. 10-8-68 Sydney. They lost against Collingwood at Collingwood in exactly this situation, where they dominated for 2.5 quarters. Let's see what happens today. North 5-5-35 at the kick-out. McKernan goes up at the back of the square, couldn't take the mark. The ball's parried along to Schwass. In the end, Armstrong was good. Oh, the tackle by Lewis was dynamite. It was absolute dynamite on Schwass. And umpire Rowan Saws was spot on in giving a no decision. I'll ball it up right in the centre.
And the replay showed that Lewis was not unfairly dealt with. He was taken to the ground in almost the action of kicking, and if you can't in almost the action of kicking take someone to the ground, well, heaven help us.
Gaspar ruck-roved it, dispossessed by Armstrong. North kick off the ground, down to their own attacking 50, but McRae came out and kicked long and high. Out they come. Bays probably dropped what he should have had. It may fall for him, though. He gets a high tackle. He was on the ground. That's good umpiring, letting it go. And forward of the centre, we've got a ball up. So, Sydney, 10-8-68. North 5-5-35. Extended coverage at Waverley. Here's Hutto for Harry's Liquor Markets.
And a great goal to Ben Allen. The Dockers now within 13 points. The Hawks are 10-4-64. Fremantle 8-3-51. McGuinness in the hands of the trainers.
Scholl off the half-back line for North Melbourne goes towards Stevens' mark. Advantage played on to Rock. Rocker's got Carey. Carey goes up, can't take the mark. Going through, Matty Armstrong has picked it up. He'll go for the feint and hand pass and kick a goal. A goal to North Melbourne's Armstrong after beautiful play has put them 1 goal closer. They go to 6-5-41. And now Sydney at 10-8-68. It's still 27 points the difference. as we go out to Anthony Hudson at Waverley for a score.
Hawthorn 10-4-64, leading Fremantle 8-3-51 by 13 points.
The big bad man at Fitzroy in Melbourne.
38 points difference. Melbourne 10 goals 7-67. Fitzroy 4 goals 5-29.
Galloping Gourmet at Scone Park.
Well, the opening first 3 minutes, 2 goals to Adelaide. They lead by 27 points. Adelaide 13-4-82. Carlton asleep on 8-7-55.
Lewis defends for Sydney and then finds Luff, who finds Creswell on southern stand wing. The Swans have been dominant most of the day here. Creswell put down by Swass as he kicked it. Went long. Reynolds took a good mark in front of Rocker. Umpire had a very good look at that one, umpire Caulfield. North may be getting a bit of run into their game as Archer comes out of defence. Goes long hoping for Mark Stevens. Troy Gray's the spoiler. Where's the ball going to fall? Great courage, Luff, but it went now toward Roberts. He's tackled by Gray as he ran into the open goal. Falls for Stevens. Tries to bring it round the corner from 35, but he's put it out on the full. Missed everything. In the end, a couple of great saving tackles there, Sammy Newman.
Beautiful tackle by Gray on Roberts, and Roberts has been pretty sluggish today, as he has most games I've seen him play this year. Not the explosive, strong. God, what am I saying?
God
I've gone mad.
Going to your brain.
Oh.
Football now comes out and it's over the boundary line and out of
He
bounds.
used to be explosive last year, and he just can't burst through the pack.
It eventually catches up with you, Sam. You either go blind or you go stupid, and you're both. The football now in the arms of the boundary umpire, throws it back in. And out it comes to McKernan, but it was taken by Rose beautifully. He got it down and kicked forward there by Dyrene. Dyrene down towards Bays, who got a little freak kick and went out to Scholl. Scholl will hand pass over the top of the refrigerator, who's slow as ice, but it went out to Swass. Swass bursts away from Mooney, balances and then kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. Big flyers wanted. One of them was McKernan off the top of the pack. It went down to Nichols. Nichols has taken 2 bounce inside 50, and he lines it up and kicks a magnificent goal of the day. A Concanawful and Mobile Tronics contender. North Melbourne are coming back ever so slightly to move on the Channel 7 today. Tonight's scoreboard on 7-5-47. And Sydney are 10-8-68. It's 21 points the difference. Anthony Hudson with the Macedonian football marvel.
Hawks by 13, Dakes. Amazing scenes.
Oh, amazing. They've had about 13 touches, Fremantle, and they gained about 10 metres. Absolutely amazing. But the game has died off a little bit.
Well, this one hasn't. North are lifting, and here they come with the predictable fight back. Laidley long, Carey up. Lewis stood his ground, playing a very good game. Gray roved it and drove it wide. Out here for Shannon Grant, or Mooney it was. Got one to go on with 2, and Archer still wants to go on with it. That's good, strong, robust stuff. Mooney now gets a lead from... Is that his captain? I fancy it is. Kelly dropped a very unusual effort from Kelly to drop a mark there. Rocker couldn't pick it up, but Nichols did. Drove down to the wing through Kane Gray. It's on the centre line. All Sydney here now. Can Big Rose pick it up? He does. Hand passes poor. Creswell lost it. Now it might fall for Anthony Stevens. Sydney's starting to look tired, and Stevens will go down toward half forward, and Mark Stevens has got the mark. He's got Swass linking. He'll go long one-on-one. He'd back Carey every time. He'll have to come from the back, but he's taken the mark. I thought he might have given Dunkley a shove, but maybe the ball was close enough. And Carey is lining up 25 out, directly in front, to bring North back within 15 points. Your thoughts, Sam Newman? I just felt there might have been a shove there, Sammy.
Oh, was there ever? I mean, fair dinkum. I mean, it is just, the umpiring is... David Levens, you in charge of the most disgraceful outfit of people.
Here's Carey. It's a goal. It's a goal. He's got 2. North are edging back. That one was a lucky one.
Mate, Sam and I couldn't get away. Sam and I couldn't get away with that in 1968, and there was one umpire then.
I'll take that back. You're not in charge of the most disgraceful outfit of people. It's the way the game is interpreted by the umpires. That kick that was given down the ground here when Dale Lewis was flattened. There were 2 worse ones up here that went unchecked. That was just absolutely a blatant push by Carey. And, I mean, it is just absolutely unbelievable.
It's back to 15 points. North Melbourne trail by 15 points. Knocked out by McKernan. Knocked further by the refrigerator. Went to Roos. Roos right half forward looking for Bays, and Bays has marked it out in front of Scholl. Turns on a sixpence. Here comes a lead from the big boy, Rocker by Baby. Mark 2, he can't take it, and it's over the boundary line. Let's go to the Galloping Gourmet at Upset Park.
29-point lead to Adelaide. Adelaide 13.684. Big Harry's taking his first mark for the day with a huge roar from the crowd. Carlton 8.755.
Thank you, Jason. And the ball now on half forward for Sydney at the punt road end. It came out. Oh, hand pass by Anderson was errant. It went down to Kelly of Sydney, brought it across his body. Here comes Ross Smith. He's taken the marker, Jason, to the Ansett Australia sign. He'll hand pass off to the horse, John Longmire. The horse in the goal square now brings it outside 50, looking for Anthony Stevens. Stevens has marked it. Gasper claimed him, couldn't get it. Stevens has got it going towards half forward. He'll be looking further afield forward. Scott couldn't take it, but here comes Gray. Gray of Sydney went to centre half forward. The ball in contention. Oh, tough, rugged affair with Nichols being claimed. And the umpire will bounce it at centre half forward for North Melbourne, for Sydney. Anthony Hudson, your score at Waverley.
And a goal to Hawthorn. The Hawks now up by 19 points. 10-4, make that 11-4-70 to Fremantle, 8-3-51.
So Sydney now trying to withstand this North burst. They got 5 goals up the Swans, but North coming back hard in this third quarter. 15 points the difference. The ball wobbles out to Members' wing. Mark Stevens really giving them something. Dodges around Troy Gray. Looks up toward his half-forward line, and he finds Blakey, who links up with Robert Scott. Lewis dragged him down. Got the strides down, and now Roos receives from Kapler. Great turnover, Sydney. Roos goes looking for Mooney, and he's got Archer to beat it. Hits Sydney's 50. Archer's got it. Breaks out of the Anthony Rocker tackle. Terrific stuff, but Rocker's smother was just as good. Turnover. McRae's got it. Tries to find Rocker with the handball. They're going in like it was a grand final. North turnover now. They win it again. Archer was great in that foray. Now Sydney try to work it back to 50. A great chance to pick it up. McRae. Out came Bays. He coolly turns onto the left foot. Kicks for the square. Lockett and Longmire there. And it's bouncing over the boundary line for a throw in. Well, Sam, I was struggling to keep up with that. I reckon there was 6 turnovers out here on the southern stand wing.
And North mightn't get up because Sydney are just as intent on doing it, but hasn't North Melbourne's rating lifted.
Beautifully done, young man, as the football now comes back into play. Cully can't take it. As we go to the big bad fellow out at Western Oval. You're still there, son, with a cup of tea in you.
Here I am, Rex, and Melbourne are 12 goals 7, 79, 50 points ahead of Fitzroy, 4-5-29, and David Neitz has taken his 13th mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mel, for that. There's a free kick to Sydney. It's going to go to Mooney. North Melbourne are not happy as we go to the Galloping Gourmet at Upset Park again.
Carlton coming back, Rex. They've kicked 3 goals in 2 minutes, and Big Harry has been instrumental in each of them out of the middle. They now trail by 11 points, Carlton. Adelaide still in front, 13-6-84. Carlton 11-7-73.
Yeah, keep us informed via the producer. Thank you very much, Gary Price. Mooney, punt road into the stadium, has kicked the football behind the stick. Sydney 10-9-69, North 8-5-53. Graham Bond, what's happened this quarter? What's happened to Sydney?
Well, Sydney, it's not so much what's happened to Sydney, it's what's happened to North Melbourne. Armstrong's got into the game this quarter with 5 possessions. Anthony Stevens with 7 and Wayne Schwass with 4 is helping North Melbourne get the ball in midfield.
Lovely kick out lately. McKernan should have marked. He didn't. McRae roved it, kick to the pocket. Danger. Shannon Grant can kick him from anywhere. The only place he can't kick him from is actually over the boundary line. That's where the ball went. And we've got a throw in. 35 metres from Sydney's goal at the punt road end, southern stand side, in the sunshine in front of nearly 30,000 here. Terrific 3AW match of the day. And Matty Armstrong emerges, runs from defensive 50, drives long, Ruse against you. Into the back of Johnny Blakey. It was a pretty crude effort there from Paul Ruse. Out of that southern stand wing, and Johnny Blakey plays on now. He runs and drives down beyond attacking 50. Carey looks dangerous. He's up. He almost had it. 2 bites. Gray roved it. Now he hopes for the boundary. He's going to not make the boundary. It's all North out here on Members' wing. Far too easy here. The kick by Gray was disappointing. It's picked up by Keenan Reynolds, and he'll put it back in the big forwards direction. And it's Blakey, I fancy, who's gone up and taken a terrific mark. Stevens and Carey were lurking, but Johnny Blakey. Now, how's he going to go from outside 50 here, Sammy? Not much angle down to the city end.
No, he can't kick this. He's into the wind here, Graham, isn't he?
Yes, Sam, slightly. He's a good thumping kick, but it'll die off to the left.
He'll struggle to kick this, and it's died off actually to the right, Bondi.
Well, no, Bondi was
I got it
right.
half right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he was right. If you're standing behind the goals, it died off to the left.
Spot on, Sam. So Sydney 10-9-69. Well, as last night, this game building up to a ripper finish. North 8-6-54. 15-point lead to the outsiders. The visitors as Sydney force it to Lewis in the middle.
Here they come again, and Cresswell got a hand pass to kick it. He hand passed it and got it on further afield. The young Grant who ran to 45 and went via the Cape. It's into Punt Road. One behind 1 point on the Channel 7 Today Tonight scoreboard. And Sydney at 10-10-70. They lead North Melbourne 8-6-54. In front of a good crowd is enjoying the proceedings here today. Anthony Stevens marked the kick-off. He kicked it outside 50 down towards Scott on centre wing. Scott and Rocker. Rocker puckered up, couldn't do anything about it. Big McKernan brought it across his body to half forward, knocked on beautifully by Blakey. Here comes Carey. Also there was Dunkley who knocked it away. Rose hand passed it to Roos. The crowd went Roos as he went inside. Derek Keggin has marked it at 45 metres. And Derek would be a real show to put this one through post high as Ron Barassi is swinging the changes with Rocker and Gasper off the ground. And we've got Crawford and Caven coming onto the ground, replacing them, having a bit of a spell as Derek Kickett has kicked a mongrel finger-breaking up-country punt kick that fell down to Bays, and he kicked it out of bounds on the full. Don't give a point, please. Yes, you've given the right decision. He wanted to give a point, the goal umpire, didn't he? Oh, you're joking. Optical City for you. Take him, Lindsay, at 9:15 for the eye test.
Optical City in Swanson Walk, down in St Kilda, out in Box Hill. Great people there. As the ball's brought back into play to North's defensive 50. Dale Lewis takes a beauty over the top of Mark Roberts. Sydney by 16 points, 21 minutes third quarter. Get back to you in a moment. Gary Bryce as Carlton, after being 5 goals down, comes surging back against Adelaide. Daniels is replacing Troy Gray. 3 changes in a minute here from Barassi. Lewis is a thumping kick. He'll put this in the square. Look out for Big Plugger. He's out. It's a Sydney mark in front. No. Umpire said no. Ball comes to the ground 20 metres out. Grant takes a handball and kicks. Hits the post, does he, or is it through? It's through. A Mobiltronics goal of the day contender. A left foot snap from Shannon Grant after a blitzing handball came out. And Sydney 11-10-76, North 8-6-54 for Harries. Here's Gary.
Well, what a comeback by Carlton. The first 3 minutes, Adelaide kicked 2 goals to take the margin to 29 points. Since then, between the 8 and 11 minute mark, Carlton kicked 4 goals, and Harry Madden been instrumental. Bradley and Mitchell have lifted their rating. They trail by 4 points now, Carlton. Adelaide 13-6-84. Carlton with a key move of Silvani down to the forward pocket to assist Big Kernahan. Carlton 12-8-80.
So here comes Nichols for North Melbourne down towards Carey into the forward line. Sydney got breathing space by 22 points. In the shadows of the Ansett sign is picked up by Allison, inboard towards Nichols. Tapped away down there beautifully by Kapler. Kapler ran to 50, hand passed it towards the boundary line. Here comes Anderson for North Melbourne. A tip there and a tap there. And the football went over the boundary line.
And it went out of play. How good was that from Kapler, Sam Newman?
It was fantastic and pretty unfortunate for North, actually, when Grant kicked that last goal, because the ball was being kicked towards the boundary line and it rebounded, I think, off Laidley, the back of his foot, and it bounced into the middle of the goal-scoring area, and Grant kicked a goal. So they were trying to work it into a defensive position, but he just kicked it into his own man, the North defender.
Quick score, Hutto for Harries.
Goal to Tony Woods and the Hawks by 4 even goals, 12-4-76 to 8-4-52.
Schwass roves the throw in at 50, kicks for Carey in the square. He's got rid of Dunkley and it'll be against him. And you'll hear the Bronx cheers from a fairly vocal Sydney crowd here, because earlier there was a similar incident and Carey actually got the free right in front of goal. So now they're mucking around as they bring it out of defence. Caven, new man on the ground, picks out Dale Lewis. Halfback flank, members side. Lewis will kick along the boundary to Creswell, who's had plenty of kicks. He hand passes further along the wing. In comes Troy Luff, well tackled. Hand passes to Shannon Grant. who kicks it to attacking 50. Pack goes up. Who's down? Justin Crawford, strong hands, finds Bays. Here's danger. He gives it to McRae, who sizes the goals. It looks good. It's another one, I fancy, but no, it's hit the post. Must have just shaded the post. So Sydney 11-11-77. North 8-6-54. It's 24 minutes third quarter on the Channel 7 Tonight scoreboard.
Well, the football being marked by Anderson of North Melbourne on the half-back flank. Gets it down to Anthony Stevens, who marks it just short of the wing position. Bounces and has done a nice job on a beautiful left-footed kick to half-forward, looking for Blakey. Up to Roos. It comes now down to Lewis of Sydney. He's leading in the race for the ball. Right behind him is Nichols of North Melbourne, and the ball's over the boundary line just inside 50. Right attacking flank from the half-forward line. The Galloping Gourmet out there at Scone Park.
Carlton has been in control of this game since about the 8-minute mark of this quarter. We're now at the 18-minute mark, and they trail by 3 points. They're getting back to Adelaide, who are 13-6-84. Carlton 12-9-81.
Scott of North Melbourne got it across to Nichols, who put it into the goal square. Carey and Dunkley. Dunkley and Carey. And the football's been conceded across the white line. As we go to Anthony Hudson at Waverley for an update out there.
And a 23-point lead to the Hawks. 12-4-76. Fremantle 8-5-53. Just struggling. Their method is just pretty ordinary. The Dockers.
Knocked out by Daniels here, Anthony. He got it across to Lewis. Lewis did a worm burner, and the football went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Fitzroy back into that game out there yet, big man?
Not really. They're 42 points behind, with Hogg lining up to have an easy shot for goal.
Thank you for that. Back to you shortly, Malcolm. Trent Nichols got it out to Blakey. Blakey hand pass it to Stevens. Stevens got it out to Anderson. Anderson of North Melbourne kicks a long point. On the Channel 7 Today Tonight scoreboard, North Melbourne are 8-7-55. 22 points behind Sydney, 11-11-77 North Lord Nelson. And in the dying rays of the afternoon sunlight, you're listening to 3RW football.
Around Australia, I hope you're enjoying it. Kepler, what are his stats, Bondi, for Tats Pokies as he marks the kick out?
He's had 7 kicks, 6 hand passes. That was his second mark.
And he finds Creswell. He must be knocking up getting stats too, Graham, for
yes,
Tats
he's up to 21 touches now for Darren Creswell.
Having a great game. He's been prolific. He drives along the wing looking for Bays. Good grab. Look, he is just so improved this year, Bays. It's not funny. He's right below us on Members' wing and kicks now down in the direction of the half-forward line. Wasn't a well-placed kick. Maybe Crawford's lead was poor, I'm not sure. But Ross Smith did it easily against Justin Crawford, who's on for Anthony Rocker. Ross Smith from defensive 50 drives back along the wing. The big men fly. Schwass, I thought, was held off the footy. Armstrong roved it. He was held. No free kick. Maybe a ball up. They're waiting on the outside. Schwass receives from Armstrong. Great play. Schwass will go for Carey.
Gee, that's a good kick.
Now, he should kick this, Sammy. He's 50 out.
On his non-preferred foot.
He's not wasting any time. He's sized them. Oh, he missed that, and on three-quarter time, with 27 minutes, third quarter gone, what a terrific goal that would have been. Instead, it's 21 points the difference, 11-11 to
8-8-56. Sorry, Shane. And Schwass held that ball back beautifully till he saw which way Carey was going to break. Then, with, as Rex said, his non-preferred foot, drove it in with the right foot to a Carey mark, and he kicked it a bit quickly. Carey actually a bit rattled.
Ended up back in the square where it came from, but Luff finally took the mark out there from Creswell. Down towards centre wing in the brilliant sunshine, punched away, picked up by Stevens. Stevens of North Melbourne down towards Carey has kicked a point. So North are 8-9-57, 20 points down on Sydney, 11-11-77. Channel 7 Today Tonight scoreboard is for Harry Liquor Markets. We go out to Gary Bryce.
20-minute mark, Carlton are in front. 4 points up, 13-10-88. Adelaide 13-6-84.
And thank you very much.
Well, the Blues have got their noses in front out there, but North not yet here. A long way to go. They'd love to get a goal before the bell. It's nearly 29 minutes. Man in front paid the mark at the kick out. That's young Stuart Anderson. He's been pretty busy today. Lewis thought he grabbed it from the back. Might have been better to punch. Anderson now will go for McKernan. He's got Rose to beat. Couldn't hold on to the mark. Rocks roved it near the boundary. Gets away from Daniels. Kicks for goal, but Doreen's there to stop the foray forward. He comes across to half-back flank. Kelly takes a nice mark in front of, is that Armstrong? It is, the 2-14s. Kelly plays on with a hand pass to Caven. Siren. Sydney outscored 2-4 in the third quarter. And if they're outscored 2-4 in the last quarter, they will win this game. because they lead by 20 points at the last change. 11-11, 77 to 8-9, 57. 3 to Lockett. And on the other side of the ledger, 2 to Carey and 2 to Mark Stevens for North.
Hawthorn. Hargraves has done well across the half-forward line. Johnny Platten's got 3 goals. And I suppose it's been the inactive play of Fremantle's better players that's really cost them today.
All right, Peter Dacos there with Anthony Hudson. Gary Bryce, your score at Optus Oval for Harry's Liquor Markets.
Well, the Blues are in front by 21 points. I wouldn't have believed it had I not seen it. Carlton 16-10, 106. Adelaide 13-7, 85. And we're at the 27-minute mark.
And Mal Brown just quickly before the bounce here.
Exactly the same as it was before. 36 points difference. Melbourne 12-7, 79. Fitzroy 6 goals 7, 43.
Just waiting for the bounce. Sammy Newman. Can North turn this around? They're back within 20.
Well, they'll be lucky too, the way the Swans have played, although they certainly had the better of that third quarter. And I feel a bit sorry for Tony Lockett and the Swans, because Tony was playing very well, but they couldn't get the ball to him during that quarter. So he still got the 3 goals, and all in the first half.
Sydney by 20 points. Crowd is hussed as the umpire Panozzo puts it down, knocked out by McKernan. McRae intercepts the football on the half-back line for Sydney. Kicks it out to the right half-forward flank for the Sydney Swans. Running into the race for the ball is Scholl. He does a bit of a pirouette and an evening 3-step and kicks it along the centre wing. Here's a go now for the young Jack Daniels over the top of Stevens, but he can't take the football. Stevens intercepted the flight of the path of the football, but it dribbled over the boundary line and out of bounds. And the football now on its circumvolution back into the stadium, and going up is McRae, and he got a nice thump. It's in contention for a bit of a go. On hands and knees trying to get it forward. There was North. Play on. No, the umpire said there was a throw. The result, free kick is going to go to Grant. Shannon. Anthony Hudson, can I get your three-quarter time score again?
Yes, Hawthorn 13-5, 83. Fremantle 8-6, 54.
Thanks, Hutto. Just your main goal kickers?
3 goals each to Minton, Connell, Hargraves and Platten for the Hawks, and for Fremantle 3 to McManus and 2 to Hutton.
For Tats Pokies, Bondi, Shannon Grant stats.
10 kicks, 4 hand passes, Shane.
He gets it down looking for Bays, who gave it away with a bad hand pass, hoping for Creswell. Schwass intercepted nicely and chipped short. Look out, Kelly. Wonderful mark over the top of Mark Stevens and Anthony, who was behind. So Kelly may go for Lewis. Lockett, I should say, not leading as much. Troy Gray thrown into the forward line gives a lead. He's gone longer. Lockett is there. No, just couldn't take the mark. Who's in a row but Rossi Smith or McRae? McRae's got it. Should snap a goal. Oh, and he's missed it.
Gee.
He had tons of time to size that. Playing against his old side, Dean McRae. You heard Sam Newman's reaction. Gary Bryce for Harry's just before Sam.
Three-quarter time here at Optus Oval, and Carlton have turned a 29-point deficit into a 22-point lead at three-quarter time. They're 16-11, 107 to Adelaide 13-7, 85.
And a rare fumble by Smith there gave McRae... who was it, Shane?
McRae had the shot.
McRae, that's right, yes. The ex-North Melbourne player, a chance to really put the game beyond North Melbourne, I thought.
Well, Sydney desperately working to get this first goal of the last quarter. They had the chance for possession on their own half-forward line. In the end, a nice Schwass hand pass out to Armstrong was good play. He went down toward the attacking 50. Pack rises. Who's down? Ruse. Cool. Under pressure, kicks wildly. It may float out of bounds on the full. No. Peter Caven, who came on for Rocker in that third quarter. Look at this. He opens the game up with Kelly. No one near him on half forward. Sizes where the big man is. He's up. One hand. No, just couldn't drag it down. 40 from Sydney's goal. Goes to McRae. Second snap in a minute. Looks good. Well, he makes up for the last mistake, does Dean McRae, with a Mobiltronics goal of the day contender. And Sydney 12-12, 84. You'd say they're playing like winners now. North 8-9, 57, and that's on the Crown Casino scoreboard.
Well, I said McRae, after the Smith fumble, missed that one to almost put the game beyond North Melbourne. I reckon the game is beyond North Melbourne. They've got to get the thing down there at least 4 times and make sure they kick accurately.
Well, the ball back in the centre of the ground. Sydney look poised to create an upset today in Melbourne. Anthony Stevens says no, but he hand-passed across the Rock of Gibraltar. Went down to Carey, who thumped it away from Lewis. The ball came out to McRae, who hand-passed it on. He got it out there towards Kapler. The football rebounds towards the wing position, picked up by McRae, again is inspired. He hand-passed across to Lewis in front of the Ansett side. Lewis has gone a long way towards Lockett. He can't get it, but Bay's over the top, and it's all over now. Crawford kicks the goal for the Sydney Swans. Yibbity, that's all. It is finished here. You might as well go home, I reckon, North Melbourne, because Sydney have blown this game to the Scheissenhausen with a beautiful run along the outer wing position that ended up with a goal to Crawford. This will be the upset of the century. 13-12-90 Sydney to North 8-9-57.
And I made a mistake with my mathematics before. They had to get it down 5 times. They've now got to get it down 6 times, North Melbourne, and kick accurately on every occasion.
Well, Justin Crawford playing in only his 3rd game. The boy who came from Tocumwell in New South Wales via Assumption College. Raced in to kick a fine goal. Kelly thumps it out of the centre for Sydney. It's taken by Scholl. There'll be a free kick advantage played North Melbourne. And Stuart Anderson gets another stat Bondi. Little neat chip across to Armstrong. Lovely handball to Anthony Stevens. They're forward of centre. Nice link up to Rock, who should kick a goal. He'll run to 50. Anthony Rock runs to 40. He sizes them and misses. Dear me. Bad miss, Anthony Rock.
Terrible kick that. I mean, the opponent was coming to tackle him. He could have either popped it over or actually just driven the ball through. In the end, he didn't know whether to kick it to Carey, hand pass it, or chip it.
Here's the barrel for Harry's Liquor Markets. Carlton Adelaide at the Optus Oval.
Three-quarter time here, Shane. A 22-point lead to Carlton, who are 16-11, 107, leading Adelaide 13-7-85.
Shannon Grant takes the kick, and it's hand passed back towards Dyrene, who hand passed it to Grant again. Bland said the umpire, sorry, it was Dyrene, and he comes out to the half-back flank. It's marked over there by young Caven. He puts it down to the wing to McRae, who's inspired. Hand passes it to Cresswell. Cresswell can kick it to Lockett, and Lockett takes a mark, and this will absolutely bury North Melbourne. They can go home because Lockett now will line it up from point-blank range, 30 metres out directly in front. Anthony Hudson, your score. Thank you very much for that. Lockett back here at the goal score. At the goal, he's going to shoot for goal, folks. 30 metres out, the man on the mark. Lockett has kicked free. He can put the icing on the cake, and he does not do that. Yes, he does. He does put it through, and it's all over here at the MCG. Good night, North. Good night, Rexy. Good night, Bondi. Sydney 14-12-96 are going to defeat North Melbourne 8-10-58. Hutto.
Dockers are fighting on. They've kicked a goal through McManus, his 4th. They trail by 22 points. Hawthorn 13-5-83, Fremantle 9-7-61.
Okay, Hutto, let us know if it gets any tighter there. We'll take some of the call because this game now, well, the result's not in any doubt. Sydney is home. 38 points to the good. It's been a wonderful turnaround after their shock loss to St Kilda last week. Out of the centre, Daniels taps it on and then follows up down on this member's wing. Can't pick it up cleanly. Blakey does. Well played, North Melbourne, as Blakey goes forward in the Carey direction. Oh, brilliant Mark Love. Jumped over the back of Dunkley, who's hurt his right shoulder, and Carey, and Troy Luff's away. What are his stats, Bondi, for Tats Bogies as he kicks wide to his captain?
8 kicks, 4 marks to Troy Luff.
What about Kelly's stats?
For Kelly, 5 hand passes, 9 kicks.
And Kepler, who just kicked that one along the wing and out of bounds.
That would have been Kepler's 9th kick, 6 hand passes.
And what about Doreen, Bondi?
Scotty Doreen's had 10 kicks and 4 hand passes.
Hutto, any change there at the Waverley Park for Harry's Liquor Markets?
Yes, a sensational mark and goal by Hutton. The Dockers now within 16 points, 13-5-83 to Fremantle's 10-7-67. The Hawks up, Hutton 3 goals.
Okay, well, if it gets inside a couple of goals there, we might look at coming across to you for the Hawks supporters. North in front here by 38 over Sydney. Bounce on the southern stand wing. Been a wonderful effort from the Swans as looks like Shannon Grant there just allows it to go over for a throw-in. Three-quarter time at the Optus. And Carlton turned a 5-goal deficit into nearly a 4-goal lead there. That was a magnificent third quarter, as you heard Gary Bryce describe it. Schwass gets the thump away in the ruck. Kelly runs after it and is happy to see it go over the boundary line again, about 80 metres from North Melbourne's goal.
And how stupid would you have to have been to actually have tipped that North Melbourne would easily take this game out, because anyone would know that the Swans have had reasonable form in Sydney and just dropped that game last week against St Kilda, but they were always certainties to be competitive today.
You wanted to put your new roof on them. Football's over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Unbelievable.
Mark Stevens of North Melbourne on the right half-back flank. So it's good night, North Melbourne. I'm quite convinced of that.
Oh.
Yeah, well, there you are. And down to the wing position. I've still got a little hope, Sam, but not much. It's knocked off, and it went out to Kelly, whose hand pass was just intercepted by a sea of players. Scott got a hand pass to Nichols. Nichols got a hand pass to Stevens. Stevens kicked it down towards Longmire. Longmire's been moved to full forward, but Luff runs away and hand passes it to Dyrene. Dyrene gets it down Cresswell towards the half-forward flank. He came down towards Earl Grey. Grey will pick it up and kick a goal point. Well, he could have just absolutely put more cream on the cake. But by the look of Ron, he's had too much cream on his cake anyhow, so he just have to sort of get back with Cheryl under the doona and do a little bit of soul searching. Sydney 14-13-97 to North Melbourne 8-10-58.
Here's the kick in. Rose goes up, can't mark. McKernan dragged down as he tried to kick. Great play, Gavin Rose, and the redhead chips nicely, and Crawford, that's Justin Crawford, has taken the mark. He's 45 metres from goal down there at the main scoreboard end. He's got a lead from Kickett, and well anticipated there by North's defence. Kickett was on a lovely lead, and 50 metres against him. Now let's just check. It was Rossi Smith who came out and put his body on the line as Kickett led up. Smith took the mark, was bumped to the ground by Kickett, so 50 metres, and Rossi Smith's got it in the middle.
I actually agree with that one, Chase. I thought that he'd clearly marked that ball, and Kickett had no intention of not dragging him to the ground unnecessarily.
Gave it to Schwass, who went to Longmire out near the boundary. Funny way to go home when you're 6 goals down. Hand passes to Rock, who looks for Blakey. Ruse the spoiler. 10 metres out from North's goal. Nichols, kick off the ground, will do in the goal square. Ball up. Gary Bryce for Harry's Liquor Markets of Adelaide started well in the last quarter, Barrel.
No, well, each quarter they kicked the first goal at the 1 minute mark, but Carlton have done it this time with Kernahan. He kicked his first for the game. They lead by 28 points now, Carlton. 17-11, 113. Adelaide 13-7, 85.
And the ball deep into attack for North Melbourne in the last rays of sunshine in the afternoon, and it's behind the stick. Rushed. North 8-11-59 are gone. Sydney are 14-13-97. 11 minutes gone here. She's all over, and here's Anthony Hudson.
I think the Hawks might be safe here, Rex. A goal after a mark to Hudson. They led by 23 points, 14-6-90 to the Dockers, 10-7-67, 9 minutes in.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And the kick out comes. It's marked over there by Dunkley. Dunkley just going to take some more time and get it back to Dyrene. He hand passed it out to Kapler. Kapler's little flick went towards the centre of the ground. Norfolk got no fire, they got no passion as Carey came out. He hand passed, he's had a dirty day. Or Scott's hand pass hit Anthony Stevens, and down towards the horse, John Longmire, who's marked. So John Longmire moved from full-back to full-forward, has got a chance to kick North's 9th goal, but it's all in vain as we go to the big bad man at Western Oval.
Well, 55 points is the difference at the moment. Melbourne 16-9, 105 to Fitzroy, 7 goals, 850.
So Longmire has got a chance to put North Melbourne's 9th goal on the Crown Casino scoreboard, but little all too late for North as Longmire, I don't know about that at all. Yeah, it's a goal. Longmire's kicked a goal. So, oh well, it's just all relative, isn't it?
Academic.
Yeah, 9-11-65. 9-11-65, North to Sydney, 14-13-97. Anthony Hudson out at Waverley Park.
Another goal after a good mark to Hudson, and the Hawks now definitely home. They lead 15-6-96 to Fremantle, 10-7-67 by 29 points.
Well, but for a small section of the third quarter when North really attacked the ball ferociously, and as a result their play lifted noticeably. They've been very passive today, but take nothing away from the Swans. They've been sharp from the moment the ball was bounced.
McKernan got the tap down. Kelly actually roved it and kicked a half forward where Crawford missed out and Archer got it. He found Rock just forward of the wing, and Rock's running down southern stand side, looking for Longmire. Ball bounces in front of that player. The kick wasn't great. Ruse overran it. 30 metres out from the North goal. McRae's going to clear. It's been wonderful today. Kapler now gets it working forward to Rose on his own in the middle, linked up with Creswell. That was a lovely handball. He finds Shannon Grant having a ruck rove. Shannon Grant further forward. They just impenetrable here, Sydney. On to McRae and back to Grant. Long kick to Kickett, who led well out of full forward. Lockett, I should say, had already led a long way up the ground. Was no good Grant going to Lockett. He would have only kicked it about 4 metres. He had Kickett running out of a forward pocket. And I'll paint the picture under beautiful blue sky. Kick at 35 out, 45-degree angle. And it looks pretty good. It's through. Derek Kickett kicks his first of the day. And Sydney 15-13, 103. 9-11-65 North Melbourne. A 38-point lead on the Crown Casino scoreboard. It's 14 minutes last quarter. And let's get an update from Gary Bryce for Harry's at Optus Oval.
Well, still 28-point lead at the 6-minute mark. Carlton 17-11, 113. Adelaide 13-7-85 with Rasciuto shooting for number 5.
Thank you very much. The ball back in the centre of the ground, so Sydney will definitely be boosted by this away from home win. They're 4th in 28 years. The football now driven towards the right half forward flank for North, but here comes Lewis, who's been terrific. They've all been great of Sydney Swans. Knocked on by Jack Daniels, and the ball went over the boundary line on the centre wing position. So throughout Australia, this is 3AW football with the upset of the day, with North Melbourne not playing to their great potential and Sydney taking advantage and absolutely doing the burying job as the ball goes over the boundary line.
Well, it's on that southern stand wing, and Roos has just been replaced by Mooney here. Let's see if it's got any closer there with our extended coverage. Hutto and Dakes.
Not really. It's a 30-point lead to Hawks.
Well, they're doing quite. They're going to run out easy winners. Hawthorn, Hudson 2 goals in this last quarter. They've had possessions, but kicking far too short. Fremantle.
How's their forward line work today with the game? No Dunstall, Dakes?
Well, it's gone quite well, but the win hasn't been an impressive one because you just got to look at the Fremantle side. The pressure hasn't been there, and they've really been allowed to do what they've been wanted to, and they've kicked short and they've kicked goals when they've needed them.
Okay, Creswell thumped it out of a pack. Stevens, though, grabbed it. Kicked long to full forward. Longmire couldn't take the mark, made a great effort. But Sydney's defence has been wonderful today. And Luff combining here with Doreen, who wobbles one along the wing. Lucky bounce for Creswell, but he'll take it. And now drive long into the half-forward line. Bayes caught behind Archer. 1-2 bites. Couldn't take the mark, Glenn Archer. But has a player, Stevens, who looks injured to me. On his own here on Members' wing. Hand passes inside to Anthony Rock. That's good play. He runs across the Coca-Cola sign. Longmire's on a good lead. Out come the defenders. No one could take the mark. Longmire roved it, gave it to Scott. He was dragged down as he raced into an open goal by Daniels. Free kick to the redhead, and again he gives it to Luff, who goes for Shannon Grant, who marks here on Members' wing, and Sydney can do no wrong, Rexy.
Oh, no, you reign in confidence when this sort of happens, and that's great. And there's Mark Stevens stubbing the ball 30 metres. Kicked off the ground by Scott. Intercepted by Nichols. It came out to Stevens, who ran to 50. And he kicked a long ball in towards McKernan, who marked it in the goal square, and he's taken the mark and will come back and kick another goal for North Melbourne. 22,524 people have been here today to see the upset that a lot of people thought may happen, as McKernan has kicked his second goal for the day, but all too late. North 10-11-71 to Fitzroy, to Sydney 15-13, 103. As we go to Gary Bryce at Optus Oval.
Well, Adelaide just score another behind. They trail by 27 points after a goal from Rasciuto, the one I mentioned before. He kicked, that's his 5th. Koutafidis just took mark of the day and converted to goal. So it's still a 27-point margin to Carlton, 18-11, 119. Adelaide 14-8, 92.
Can't see it turning around now. Barrel out there.
No, 10-minute mark, and I think Carlton playing like winners, and Adelaide, unfortunately, have run their race.
Sydney playing like winners here as Shannon Grant gets first touch out of the centre. Armstrong dispossessed but got a wild kick away out to the southern stand wing where Allison can use his burning pace. Shannon Grant chased terrifically. Allison tackled but got the hand pass working. Armstrong goes in. Oh, there's a high tackle on Anthony Stevens, I fancy, by Daniels. How are Stevens at stats today, Graham Bond, for Tats
He's been pretty good, Shane. He's coming in for his 25th possession, 15 kicks, 10 hand passes. That was smothered off the boot.
Yeah, great effort, Daniels. I wonder if he ran over the mark. Maybe the umpire said Stevens had played on. Sydney now is going to work it forward. Long kick by Grant to the leading. Lockett is up. Rove by Creswell. 35 out. Sizes the goals. And not under much pressure at all. Misses off to the right. Creswell's been prolific today. Sydney to 15-14, 104. North 10-11-71 if you joined us late. Hawks comfortably. Demons very easily. And the Blues sailing home after being 5 goals down at the Optus Oval.
North Melbourne just in the shadows of the post. Taking a mark through Roberts at centre half back and goes to right half forward looking for Carey, who's been well beaten by Dunkley. done a great job on him today, as Barnett has taken the hand pass and given it across to John Blakey. Blakey's kick is disgraceful. Although if he picked out young Cresswell, it was a beauty. Cresswell took the mark and hand passed it to Kapler, who speared it down the throat of Lewis. Cresswell and Lewis have been magnificent in their combination. But here comes a lead out there from Crawford. Crawford has taken it on the 50-metre line in towards Plugger. And Keenan Reynolds took the mark in front of Plugger Lockett.
Moves pretty well, that young Justin Crawford. He was one of the young kids that they're really basing their future on. A couple of them dropped for this game, including Huskus and Seymour, as Schwass accepts now and runs around below the smoker stand. 3 bounces, got away from Creswell. Waiting for Allison to give him an option. Allison uses his pace. Oh, Kapler dragged him down in a wonderful tackle. Got the loose footy and kicked very badly, very high. And Johnny Blakey marks at the back of the square. Hand passes off to Laidley. Laidley gets around McRae, who looks like he might have hurt himself there in an attempted tackle. Stevens wins it on the centre line. Goes now toward young Stuart Anderson, who'll look for big, is that McKernan or Longmire? It's Big Johnny, who's taken the mark about 35 metres out. Not much angle down there at the Punt Road end for North Melbourne.
Well, it was worth a try. Maybe we thought when North looked to be in trouble that Longmire could have come down earlier, but I think the game was gone long before that.
Longmire kicks and it's gone pretty close. Let's have a look what the umpire says. Full points for North Melbourne. They've gone on now to 11-11-77. 27 points to the poorer. Sydney 15-14-104. Coming up 21 minutes in the final quarter on the Crown Casino scoreboard.
Anthony Hudson with Peter Dacos out at Waverley Park.
And the Hawks by 30 points, 15-8 to 10-8.
And the Hawthorn backline just keeps repelling Fremantle. They keep getting the ball on their forward line, and Hudson's just waltzed in for his 3rd of the quarter. So Hawthorn have had multiple goal scorers. They've done it quite easily, and will run this game out quite easily.
And knocked out by McKernan. Fresh air shot. High on said the umpire. North Melbourne's McKernan hand passed as good as a kick to centre half forward. Carey out of sorts today. Great job by Dunkley as Lewis gets a kick. He got it out there to the half-back line marked by Cully, who's been great. Hand pass to Shannon Grant. Grant runs second time and bounces on the Ansett Australia wing side. Spears it down the half-forward line where Bayes has taken a mark in front of Archer. Bayes goes back and kicks it 60 metres. Here's Plugger. Beautiful mark by Plugger. Equally lovely position with a kick that went like a rocket from Bayes. Plugger can line up for goal number 5. They thoroughly deserve this win, Sydney. There were plenty of people who thought they weren't good enough today, and I was one of them. But credit where it was due.
Bedingham?
Yeah.
Dear Matt, I mean, I always thought it could have been close. They had good form coming down here.
I want to replay, Lee, if we can get back the 1:30 to 2 o'clock tape, what Sam Newman said at the end of the game, just to verify his past comments.
Lockett has kicked 5 goals today. They've been magnificent, Sydney. And good on you, Ron. It'll be warm under the doona tonight with Cheryl's son. The old stars will be flying and sparkling tonight down there under the old tent. And Swans go to 16-14, 110. North 11-11-77, Lord Nelson. Big bad Mal Brown at Western Oval.
Well, 69 points the difference here now. 18-11, 119 to Fitzroy, 7 goals, 850, and Gary Lyon is just going back to have another shot.
And the Galloping Gourmet at Swan Park.
Margin's now 33 points for Carlton. We're at the 15-minute mark of the last quarter. Carlton are 19-12, 126. Adelaide 14-9, 93.
Well, the Blues will stay on top, but being 5 goals down at one stage, you would have been worried. Sydney out of the centre again to Crawford. It's a nice mark. Young Justin Crawford came on for Rocker in the 3rd quarter. Now, long kick in the Lockett direction. Oh, he gave what Dakes called the Tony Lockett hello there as he jumped in late on Keenan Reynolds.
Did he swat that?
Oh, and Keenan Reynolds goes wide to Johnny Blakey. What are his stats, Bondi, as he marks on defensive 50?
Well, he's had 13 kicks. He's coming in for kick 14, 9 hand passes. That was his 8th mark he just took, Ben.
And kicks it down beyond centre where Dunkley takes the grab. Gee, I've liked Andrew Dunkley's game, and 50. As I thought he might have been playing on, Carey decided that was the case. He dragged him down, and old Wayne's now got to job down, and rather than standing the mark behind centre, he'll be standing on the mark 45 metres from goal. And Andrew Dunkley, full-back or centre half-back on Carey, depending where he's been playing, will actually be having a shot for goal down at the city end of the ground. You've got to say Dunkley's done a damn good job today, Sam.
He's been fantastic, Dunkley. He's matched Carey in almost every department, certainly the vigour. He hasn't been compromised by the great man at centre half forward, and he's done a very, very good job.
Well, Sydney with a percentage of 96.8. If they could have won last week, would have been right in the hunt. He's the worst looking kick for goal I've ever seen, Dunkley. He made the distance, but it wobbled off to the left. Oh, dear me, how not to have a shot for goal. I hope that won't be on the Channel 7 replay tonight. Crown Casino's scoreboard 16-15, 111 to 11-11, 77. Sydney by 34 points. Well, it won't be on the Channel 7 replay because this game's not on the replay. Now, what's happened there, Bondi?
Well, Wayne Schwass has attempted to kick the ball to himself, but he's been over the line when he's kicked it, and the umpire's come in and taken it off, and it will bounce at the point of the square.
Would you be, Bobby?
No, he should be electrocuted for that. The electric chair, that is disgraceful. The umpire is correct and must be always correct. As Schwass goes in and does a worm burner out towards the 50-metre line, and here comes the refrigerator Roberts. They've looked slow, North Melbourne, today, really slow. As Roberts goes in, Cresswell hand passes over the top to Crawford. Crawford to Bays. Bays in towards the goal square, but taken by Kenan Reynolds, who kicks it outside 50. Punch away by Kapler. It went out to John Blakey, who hand passed it out further afield towards his team player in Barnett. Barnett to the right half forward flank where Longmire hand passes to Blakey. And Blakey brings it across his body for a goal. So it's a goal by Blakey. And North Melbourne have got another goal on the board, but it's all too late. North 12-11-83. Sydney is 16-15, 111.
Well, Hutto, let's get a score from you for Harry's Liquor Markets out there at Waverley.
Hawthorn 17-9, 111. Fremantle 11-8, 74. And you talk about Channel 7 replay, Shane. Well, all junior coaches, don't let your kids watch this match.
That bad, eh? And how long there, Hutto?
24 minutes.
24, a couple of minutes ahead of you. And we're 26 here as Rose, who's been great today, gets another thumb down. Kelly dispossessed by a nice Laidley tackle. It fell to Schwass, who hand passed to Stevens under pressure from Gaspar. Got the kick down, looking for Carey. 3 to beat. Out they came. Sydney's defence has just been absolutely fantastic. Look at the Daniels tackle. You'd reckon there was a point the difference. The way he buried Robert Scott there. And on North's attacking 50, we've got a ball up. Any change in the score? Gary Bryce for Harry's at the Optus.
Only towards Carlton's margin, 34 points now at the 18-minute mark. Carlton 19-13, 127, Adelaide 14-9-93.
North wobble it forward to the goal square where Laidley's found Longmire. I shouldn't actually say the goal square, North supporters. It's been a little bit misleading, and I apologise for that. Longmire actually is more near the boundary, about 20 metres from goal, and will come in member side to punt road end. Gray's not even watching him as he plays on and on the right foot kicks it behind. Well, it was a bit sloppy all round. 16-15 to 12-12 is the Crown Casino scoreboard. 3AW footy around Australia, reminding you tomorrow it's Geelong and St Kilda here from the MCG. Ablett needing 15 for the 100. Who knows what might happen in this unbelievable round where there was a draw last night and a rank upset today. And Sydney, as I said, with that good percentage, will find themselves with 5 wins at the end of this game, and still maybe only a win or 2 out of the 8. And who knows, with not a bad run at home, it's maybe not impossible for Ron's team.
So Cresswell got a kick and he got it across towards Grant. Grant now Shannon has gone right across the other side looking for Lewis, who's been great today again. Lewis has got a kick down towards Jack Daniels, who marks it on the half-back line, goes to the wing. He gets it out towards Caven, who takes a mark and then spears a wobbling, mongrel, finger-breaking punt. But a hand pass by Kick, it ended up by Caven, who gave it to Lockett. Last year, he wouldn't have even spat on him. But Lockett said, "Give it to me, Pete, all is forgiven." And Caven kicked it right down the throat of the big greyhound man. So, Plugger's still racing greyhounds?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He loves them. He loves them as much as you love fish.
Yeah, he must love them. So, he's got a couple of real good spreaders too. They're quick out of the box, apparently.
So we'll look for them with a bit of form as Plugger lines up.
So is the Hare.
For 6 goals,
The Hare
and he's
doesn't come out
gone
of the box.
behind. He could have had a real field day today, Graham Bond.
Which is
Well,
actually a
he's
long bar.
taken 9 marks, Rex, 9 kicks. He's kicked 5 goals too, and he's had 2 shots a goal, 1 out of bounds on the full and 1 that fell short. So could have kicked 7 or 8.
The Hare's actually attached to a long bar that comes off the running rail and
Doesn't it spring out, and that's what alerts the dogs to jump?
it doesn't spring out. Here's North Melbourne working it along members' wing, and Stevens now on left foot, driving down to a Carey-Dunkley battle. Terrific Dunkley, just out-strength Carey there, and then a hand pass for the boundary. That's what Jeff Bruce should have done in about exactly the same position a couple of weeks ago, instead of running it over. And Dunkley, no, you can't play deliberate there. He just hand passed to his side's advantage. It wobbled over. And we've got a throw in, 16-16 to 12-12 in the death throws here for North Melbourne. A really disappointing effort, but the law of averages said they were due to lose one as Gaspar went in, got the hand pass working to Lewis, who tries to force his way through the traffic. Now Criswell finds Grant, who's been prolific. He finds, who's that? That's the young boy in Doreen, who gives it to Rose, who runs out of the square. He sees an open goal. It's bouncing, wrong side. Sydney 16-17, 113, North 12-12, 84. 30 minutes final quarter. Here's Malcolm Brown at the Western Oval for Harry's Liquor Markets.
And you wouldn't believe it, the game's here. It's over, thank God. It's 81-point walloping. Melbourne ended up winning by 81 points. 20 goals 11, 131 to 7 goals 8, 50 points. Into the last quarter, oh, they kicked 8 goals.
Thank you very much to you. Bayes has been given a free kick against him as Matthew Armstrong tackled him. Bayes was deemed by the umpire, Jeff Caulfield, to have thrown the ball, and the kick by Matty Armstrong has gone down towards centre half forward, and there's his side. That's a nice old walloping. The North 16-17, 113 Sydney, 12-12, 84 North Melbourne, and what a good result. What a fantastic result.
And Rex, they're playing South Melbourne's old theme song here, and not the up there for Sydney theme. Cheer, cheer, the red and the white they're playing, and it's a long while since we've heard that one, Beryl.
Very long time, Shane, since 1981.
Well, you should be singing it, Beryl, because we don't know it.
I am singing it.
What's your score?
Well, at 33 points, Clapey's just kicked his 7th goal for the day. They lead by 33 points, Carlton. 20 goals, 13, 133. Adelaide, 15, 10, 100.
Well, there goes Ron. He's starting to waddle across there, like that mother duck that comes out of Albert Park in the Botanical Gardens. And a very, very good effort, Sam.
Where's Sam?
Oh, he's gone. Yep. He's got the contract and I haven't. Okay, let's now check with Anthony Hudson and Peter Dacos. Sydney home here by 29 points.
Final score, 18 goals, 10, 118. Hawthorn defeating Fremantle 11-8, 74. 4 goals to Hudson, all kicked in the last quarter. 4 to Minton Connell, 3 goals to Hargraves, Platten, and singles to Richard Taylor, Jarman, Jason Taylor and Tony Woods. For Fremantle, 4 goals to Sean McManus, 3 goals to John Hutton, and singles to Ben Allen, Peter Mann, Gary Durkay and Jamie Murillo.
Okay, Mel Brown, your major goal scorers in Melbourne's 81-point job on Fitzroy.
Gary Lyon, ball eagle, kick 6. Glenn Lovett 2. David Neitz 4, was best on ground by a minute. Anthony Lovell ended up with 3, and Sean Smith kicked 3. Hilton 1 and 1 for Tingay.
And Fitzroy?
Well, who cares? Poor old Chris Johnson, he kicked 3. Hoggy kicked a couple. 1 to McCarthy and Lamb, and they were very, very disappointing. They tried hard, but they're just not up to it on skill level, Rex.
The galloping scon eater at Catering Park.
Yes, and, well, what a treat they've turned on here today, too. Beautiful. 7 to Clapey for Carlton. He's the major goal kicker with Spalding 3 and Silvani 2 second half goals.
Are you still going there, Beryl?
Yes, we're still going.
Okay.
We're at the 25-minute mark, and Rasciuto's the major goal kicker for Adelaide with 5.
Okay, we're into football review for What's New Stores. Carlton, Melbourne, Hawthorn and Sydney are today's winners. Back shortly